Hey, 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 making history right now. Very first Videobob show going live. And I've been doing lives on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, TikTok, every program out there. But things are changing dramatically with what we're going to be doing because I'm using this new platform. We're not the platform, but this application. It's called StreamYard, and it allows you to have multiple people on, sort of like Zoom, things like that. I can put out a link and invite people in. So being that this is my first time, let me know how I'm sounding. You know, how is the microphone sounding? How is the picture? Let me know if it looks good. This is the first time I've used my broadcast microphone. I've had this microphone for probably 20 years. This is one that I've used for doing voiceovers. And well, this is an Electro Voice RE20, probably one of the most popular radio microphones ever made. You've probably seen it on every radio show you've ever used. And it's going through a tube mic preamp and then through a USB adapter into the computer. Sounds good? Nick Levy, what's going on? So let's try this out. Okay, Nick Levy. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. What this platform allows you to do is I can send someone, a guest, a link, and I'm going to try that now, okay? So, Nick, I want you to go to your Facebook if you want to. And let me see if I can do this here. Nick's watching in Australia. I'm going to send you a link, and what you're going to do is you're going to click on that link, and it's going to take you into, you don't have to fill out a form. You don't have to join anything. It's going to take you to an application that will turn on your camera and microphone. You can use a computer. You can use your phone. I'm using my iMac system right now, but you can actually use a phone. And I've sent you the link, and it'll take you into a thing. You put in your name. It'll take you into what you call backstage. And then you'll pop up here, and I'll be able to bring you on camera. And this is what's so amazingly interesting about this is because not only will I be able to allow fans to interact with me live through text, which you can normally do on YouTube and on Facebook, but it also allows for super chats as well. So, you know, if you want to get that extra attention, you can do a super chat. And not only that, but I can actually bring you up on camera, on screen with me, and you can talk with me live using your phone or your laptop, computer, whatever you have. Now, I've set up kind of a professional system, and I plan on building an actual studio, either rearranging this room, converting one of my other rooms, or building some kind of a studio. Because I think that this is a format that I want to pursue, and I think that because I know a lot of celebrities, and not just celebrities, but really cool people in the car community, in the movie, TV community, the music community, just all over. Like last night, I was on another podcast for over 5 hours talking to Eric Singer, the drummer of Kiss, and Mark Slaughter, the singer of the band Slaughter. There's Nick. He's getting his stuff together. So I'm going to add you to the stream. Here he comes. This is my friend Rick from Australia. Oh, let me turn this down a little bit. Make sure my sound is down. All right, there you are. Now you're at work. You're at your phone repair place, right?
Sure am.
There you are. So what time is it there in Sydney?
12:25.
Okay, it's 9:30 p.m. here. How's things going over there with the masks and the lockdowns and the COVIDs and everything else? Is it?
It's good in Sydney, but Melbourne's pretty bad at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Melbourne's.
So, do they have you guys on lockdown? Do you have to wear a mask when you go out and things like that?
Not here, no, not here. But we're ready.
Here in Dallas, you don't have to wear it outside unless you're in a crowd, but to go inside of any business, you now have to wear a mask, which is weird because you go into a restaurant and you have to wear it initially when you're sitting at the table, but once you get your food or your drink, you could take it off, which doesn't make any sense to me at all because then you're like, what difference is that? So you're making Videobob show history. You're the first on-screen guest. How about that?
How exciting.
Yes. Call your mom now and let her know. So really, now Nick is he turned his phone off. you'll have to go back and click on the link and do it again. He accidentally turned himself off. So how I know Nick is a fellow DeLorean owner. When I visited Sydney last year, him and his friends came out with their DeLoreans, and we had a big Sydney, Australia DeLorean day. We went riding around in the DeLoreans, went to some hot spots in Sydney, had a great time. And then he actually flew here to Dallas and visited me, stayed with me. We went to a Comic-Con. We got to meet Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd together. We went out to dinner and just had a great time. So he's a good personal friend of mine. I have friends all over the world, all over the globe. So I think you can use the same link again, and I'll bring you back on. And I think I can have up to 10 guests at one time. Now, we've seen this format before with like Josh Gad doing like the thing he did with Back to the Future and Ghostbusters, which was amazing. And I want to do the exact same kind of thing, but on a different level. And I know, for instance, a lot of people who build movie props and custom cars. Wouldn't it be cool to have all of us together and we could talk about building movie props and cars, or I could talk to other people who work in the music industry, not necessarily the celebrities, but maybe people who work behind the scenes, the guitar techs, the lighting riggers, the bus drivers, all that kind of stuff. We have some great stories about that kind of stuff too. So now normally what's going to happen as this grows and it starts to get kind of out of hand and where there's so many comments coming in, I plan to have someone working with me off screen that will have, that'll be like a moderator that can kind of go through the comments, help us put things up. Now check this out. I can put up your comments here. Matt says, "Hey, Bob, do you maintain your goatee? I have one because of me." Wow, thank you. I just got through shaving around it. Now, normally you see me and it's, jet black in my videos. And I do dye it. It's true. I started off with a red beard. I'm a ginger, I'm Scottish, Irish, English. And as I started getting older, as what happens, started turning white, but it wasn't uniformly white. It started about 5 years ago, and I would just get these blotches, these patches, and I didn't like it being, I like to have things symmetrical. So I decided to dye it red, but if you've ever seen the red hair dye, it doesn't work. It just looks looks like Ronald McDonald. So I decided to go with black, and it looked very sinister. I looked like Anton LaVey, or I look like Ming the Merciless. That's what I was trying to say, Ming the Merciless. And it was a good look, and it has been. And as you can see in my logo up here in the corner there, it's become a bit of a brand, And I usually I cut the thing in the middle out, And then people will ask me all the time if I was Asian because I had this Fu Manchu, and I'm like, I'm not Asian at all. Now I just heard a chime from somebody sending me a message, which was Nick, and he says his internet is bad. Now, what I want to know, somebody tell me, did you guys just hear that bing bong that happened when the thing came in? I want to know if my computer sounds are popping up, and if you can hear that when it happens. Let me see here, because I could have sworn I just went into the settings of my Messenger and I turned off the sounds, and yet he messaged me and it made a ding. Did anybody hear? You didn't hear the ding? Okay, so maybe it's only in my headphones. Okay, great. So this is the first time. This is more of a technical thing more than getting into some questions. Let me scroll back up to some of your questions before. And, a lot, the way a lot of these work is I've seen a lot of other people do these live things, and they will only answer questions that are super chat questions. If you don't know what a super chat is, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're on YouTube and you have a YouTube account and you have, a credit card on file, you can go in and select to pay to have your comment highlighted. You can pay $1, $2, any amount you want, and it'll stick up and be highlighted. And a lot of YouTubers will only answer super chat. I'm not to that point yet, but let me look through real quick here, and I may adjust some of the audio, but you guys say it sounds good. Christopher Delgado says, "Hey, Video Bob, how is the Rolls Royce? Which one? I have 3 of them. Flex. They're all doing great. Let's see here. Let's see. Steve says, your microphone looks killer. Now, so I want to point something out. Steve doesn't have, I guess he doesn't have a Google account set up, or he doesn't have a profile picture. So here's a great example of why you should go set up your Google account, put in a nice profile picture in your account, and treat it like you would any other social media account, because things are going to be changing. And like Matt here, he says, you know, because of you, I've grown a goatee and a chin beard. And you got his picture down there. Let's see here. Let's see. Bryce says, love the Prevost, looking for one similar for full time. A lot of people do choose to. The guy that I bought my bus from was planning to live in it. Poor soul. I feel so sorry for him. He had bought this thing. His plan was to sell his house. He figured he'd get about $1 million for his property. He was going to move into this bus and down into Florida and just retire in it and live in it. And that was his plan. Things didn't work out that way. You know, housing bubble popped. His house, he ended up owing money on his house, and he had to continue working on into his 60s and 70s, and just decided he had to sell the bus. And he was very desperate to sell it, and I got it for a good deal. I didn't take advantage of him too hard, but I did get it for a good deal. But that was his plan. His plan was to live in it, and he had put a lot of love and work into it. And if you can find a good rig, you know, like for those of you who didn't see the video that I posted, you can go back and look on my YouTube channel. Did about an hour-long video about what it's like to have a Prevost bus and the difference between an RV version and the tour bus version for entertainers. Let's see here. Let's see here. Sean says, hey, Bob, good evening. Cool. Here's some other things I can do. I can pop up a banner like this. Make sure to like and subscribe. This is a perfect example of why you want to have your notifications on. So the plan is to start doing scheduled shows, like maybe every Sunday or whatever time or day we pick. And we'll have guests on, things like that. And of course, something I can do is this. Everybody ready? Here it is. I will have an intro and an outro. We'll be able to do transitions. We'll be able to do, you know, promotional spots. I'll be able to pull up other screens, show pictures, videos, things like that. That's going to be interesting. Let me go back and check on my things here. So the way I've seen the other shows running, they generally will have like an admin, somebody helping out who can sit and go through the comments. Nick over here says, I'm thinking of shaving my head because of the heat. Make sure you go out and get yourself a skull shaver. You've seen my ads for the skull shaver. You know, I have hair, but I keep it trim with this thing. Go watch the skull shaver link on my channel, or go watch this video. There's a link and you can go order one. I highly recommend it. I don't work for them, but I can't imagine life without it. Let's see here. Harley says, your mic is sounding crisp. Thank you. I've had this mic for a long time. You know, I am Videobob because I worked in the video industry for many years, but I also worked in radio. About 20 years ago, I worked in radio. And when I was producing television commercials, I produced thousands of them, I think. Thousands of, maybe not thousands, but many hundreds. And what I would do is I would, what you call write the copy. I would write the commercial. I would do the voiceover. I would shoot all the video. I would edit it. I was a one-stop guy. So a product could come to me and say, hey, you know, but it was like local stuff. It'd be like a local car lot or a lawyer or something. Say, hey, could you make me a commercial? And I'd come out there, I'd shoot the thing, I'd edit it, and I would do the voiceover because, hey, I couldn't afford to pay anybody, and I had a pretty good voice. And I used this system, this very system, which has been covered in dust. I took a duster and dusted this thing off and dust come off it because I hadn't used it in years. But I have 3 different processors that I go through. One is called a Lexicon MX100, which does the sound effects like echoes and flanges and things. And I would use that for if I was doing like a monster truck kind of a thing, you know, like the Sunday Gravedigger and it over the top, you know, that kind of thing. You know, like Fender Stratocaster is only $99 at Guitar Center, you know. So without the effects, it's not as good. And I also had a thing called an oral exciter and another thing called a big bottom, and that gives you that big full broadcast voice like Howard Stern has. Because if you heard Howard Stern talking to you in person, he wouldn't sound the same as he sounds on the radio. So I don't have that stuff turned on yet. I still need to tweak that stuff. We're just going to the direct mic right into the computer. which I may just keep it that way, but I may hook up the other stuff. I don't want it to get too hokey, too radio sounding. Let me come up and check some of this. Let's see here. Ricky says, nice shiny head, Mr. Clean. What is this? Adam, the Woo and Videobob would make great friends. You know what? I do know Adam. I don't have his phone number, though. I mean, we know each other. We've commented on each other's videos. We've met each other in person several times. He actually featured me on his old channel years ago, about 5 or 6 years ago or more than that. And I ran into him at the Ghostbuster Fan Fest, and he featured me in one of his videos. I need to get a hold of him and get a contact, get his phone number or whatever, and maybe have him come on the show if he would like to. I'd love to have Adam on. But, we do know each other, but we don't have each other's contact information. We're not that close, but we definitely would know each other if we ran into each other. Let's see here. Steve says he's eager to get another Sunday karaoke. Me too. I've been practicing with the band. Pretty crazy. I have a 80s cover band. And we've been practicing a lot. And I'm going to have a big birthday party here at my house in September, as long as it's not like banned. And please don't come shut it down for COVID. But I plan on live streaming it. That's the plan. Let's see. What was this? I was watching your Rolls Royce on eBay. Was there any legitimate interest? It had I think if you look at it, had 18,000 views or something like that. So yeah, there's a lot of people, but it's a weird time right now. People aren't necessarily spending money on luxury things. They're tightening the belts. They want to see what's going to happen. I understand. Let's see. A lot of people offering to work on the team. It's going to have to be somebody I know personally. Now I can boot anybody in and out, but I need to keep it thing. Let's see. Garrison says, what a great mic setup. He's watching on Facebook. So what's great about this is I am simulcasting on both my personal Facebook page and on YouTube live. That's interesting. So you can see where people are coming in, just like this fellow here, John, just ordered Skull Shaver. Hope they work as good as it looks. Tired of the blades. I don't like the blades either. For the longest time, I was just using like a Norelco, the same one on my face. But this works great, and what makes it great is that you can, I don't want to make a mess here because it's probably got hair in it, but you can just pop this top off and clean it. And they're not super, these are about the same price, if not cheaper than when you get Norelcos, Norelcos cost 20, 30, 40 bucks for the refills. And these are about the same price depending on the quality you're getting. But you got to remember, you're on a Norelco, you're only getting either 2 or 3 blades. This, you're getting 4. So let's see. Sean Ohio Car. So now sounds and looks very professional. Sean is somebody, and I will send you a message about this later, Sean. This is somebody who I would love to have. I would love to do a show with all the movie prop car builders in my community. And wouldn't it be cool, guys, to have now Sean, he builds great replicas of from the Transformers movie. He does Knight Rider, A-Team van, he does Barricade, Bumblebee in the Camaro. He does a lot of really cool stuff, and he's been actually lately I've been watching him restore 80s bicycles. He also has a cool retro toy store. So this is somebody, if you want to ever come on the show, I'd love to do a show, Sean, and have you on, and maybe Travis Bell, and maybe a lot of other people who've done stuff like that are friends of mine, and we could just talk about our experiences of building cars. People really interested in that. That would be a lot of fun. Let's see here. This is kind of a test run. That's true. As Old says, it's a test run. We're going to see how this is working. Will there be celebrity guests? How do you say your name? Is it Akud? There will be celebrity guests. Absolutely. I will be hitting up all my celebrity friends to see if I can't get them on. See what I can do. Let's see. Sean says, thanks. Sean's a good guy. I've been to his house, and definitely would love to have you on. That would be a lot of fun. Like maybe you and maybe Paul share, and maybe we could get maybe Jay Orberg or something. That'd be fun. It'd just be fun. Get a bunch of people on. Let's see. Hey, Bob, do you know Ginger Lynn Allen? I don't know. I don't think I know that person. Now, just keep in mind, try to keep the chat, friendly, and just keep, because remember, you can. There's another button I have here that says ban. So, trolls, be forewarned. One little click, and you're done for. I could take a joke, but sometimes people come on, they say racist stuff or political stuff. I'm not going to allow any of that kind of stuff. Get Christopher Lloyd on. It's a possibility. It's not impossible. I'm good friends with his manager, and I've met Christopher many times, so it's not an impossibility. It could happen. Because what's great about this format is it's really difficult to get somebody to commit to doing something in person. But everybody has a phone, everybody has a laptop, everybody has a computer, and everybody's used to doing these Zoom meetings now. If there's been any one good thing that's come out of the COVID lockdowns, it's been that people are now kind of connecting more with technology. And that's something that I think is going to make a big difference here. Let's see here. Chris says, I got a Platinum Meisterstuck Mont Blanc today as a gift. Thought of your video on your red one. That's fantastic. A Platinum Meisterstuck. That's a nice pen. Now, what was it? Is it a ballpoint, or is it a roller ball, or is it a fountain pen? I recently got the James Dean fountain pen, and I love that thing. I never thought I would use a fountain pen, because you think about a fountain pen like a quill, they sign the Declaration of Independence. It's actually a really usable pen. It works just like a regular pen. It's a little scratchy. It doesn't roll, but it leaves a great signature. And I use it for signing things, and I really like it. Edgar says, don't forget your great friend, Gene Simmons. I don't know. It's possible. I might be able to get him on. I spent 5 hours last night with my friend, Eric Singer, the drummer of Kiss, and Mark Slaughter, the singer of Slaughter, of course, and some other friends on Adika show. And on my Facebook, I posted a link to that. So if you're not already following me on my public page, Videobob Mosley, you can go over there and click the link. And I don't come into about 3.5 hours, but we were on for almost 5 hours. We were on for another hour, even off the air. But I've been talking to Eric Singer about every day. I'm helping him with a car. I'm a big Kiss fan, as you know. So, all right. So, you got this guy over here. I need to, there's somebody who just started posting the N-word. He wanted to get banned. He's banned. There he goes. He's gone. I don't know what the point of that was. Just don't watch. So, but you have that. And that's one of the reasons I'm going to have a moderator, because he just posted where I can see where you're watching. I think you can see the comments. I can see the same thing you can see. The difference is I can click on the comment and it'll come up on screen, right? So Juan over here, I click on your comment. Hey, Bob from Laredo, right? So that pops up, and then I click on it again. It goes away. That's how it works. It's pretty simple. Let's see here. Now here's something, for instance. You should build a car from a loved UK TV show, blah, blah. Every day, thanks, John. Every day somebody says, you know what you should do? Well, let me tell you what you should do. You should write me a big fat check and go, here's the deposit. I have an unlimited budget. I'd like you to work on this car. I don't just build stuff because it sounds like a good idea. Give me some money. Chris says it was a fine liner and rollerball refills. That's a nice pen. We're talking about pens. Love pens. This says Nosferatu. He says, what was your favorite video project that you worked on? Let's see. Oh, sorry. I clicked on the wrong thing. I would say my favorite video project I worked on. That's a hard one to say. I've done a lot of really good projects. We did a thing called Dime Vision on Big Ben Records. I won a gold and a platinum record for that, and a Billboard award for that. We did a video called Rebel Meets Rebel with David Allan Coe that played on MTV. Matter of fact, right behind me, right there, that's my MTV Music Award sitting behind me. And here's this guy again. He's just in here saying the N-word. Okay, you're blocked again. What's the point? I don't understand the point. He's got multiple accounts, so he can go say the N-word. What's the point? Anyway. Let's see. Garrison says, would you be open to build a Mad Max car? Well, how am I going to do that? First of all, you got to find the car. You got to find all the stuff for it. Those cars go for excess of $100,000. That's a big project. Greg says, hey, it's for my first time here. Hey, so how did you find this? You were just scrolling through YouTube? It just popped up on your radar? Is that what happened? Or are you a subscriber on the channel already? Let's see. Would love to see a video of the old Caddy, Jordan says. Well, yeah, I haven't done a video on I'm assuming you're talking about my 1963 Cadillac convertible. I've never really done a full proper video of it. I need to do that. So that's going to happen pretty soon, but it's up on the rack. I got to get to it, you know. Let's see. By the way, I'm talking Rolex if you missed it. Robert says, yeah, I did miss that. There is a lot of comments flying by here. Let me see if I can't go back up here. Let me answer this question. John says, I don't see a link for the skull shaver. I don't have it in this broadcast. You would have to go back to my videos on my channel and find any one of the videos about the skull shaver. I just did one last week. And go into the video description, and there would be a link there. So that's where you would find that. But this is a perfect example. Greg says he's a subscriber. Thanks for subscribing. And perfect time to remind everybody that if you haven't already, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Now, the reason YouTubers want you to like it is the more interaction that you get, the more it climbs up the recommended scale and people find it. If you share it, that instantly goes to your friends. Then, of course, if you subscribe, you'll see when we make a post. If you want to be notified when these things come on, you click the little bell notification, and that's how you'll know. Let's see. Did you do a video on your newest watch? Asks Tim. I did. I'm pretty sure I did a video on. I think I did a video on the Sea Dweller. The latest one I have is this. It's a Rolex Sea Dweller, and this is the red letter 43 millimeter. It's a big watch, and I did a video. I think I did a video comparing it to some other watches, but I've got so many videos. I forget what I've done sometimes. Let's see. My boss owns a Gremlin station wagon with a globe window. That's a cool car. Let's see. Richard says, do you have any advice to share about building movie cars? I guess the advice would be become a mechanic, an upholsterer, a carpenter, a metal worker, an electrician, and then buy a lot of tools and have a ton of money. I just realized something. I don't need these headphones. I don't even need to wear these unless I'm talking to someone else. I'm sitting here wearing these. I don't really need them. I'm going to set them aside. I don't need the headphones. So until I bring somebody else on camera. And let me see here. I was trying to get one of my other people to come on camera here. I think, well, it's Sunday. A lot of people are asleep already. They got to get it early in the morning. Let's see here. Oh. I'd say don't do it, says Sean. Exactly. Yeah, don't. People see me selling these cars and they rub their hands together. They go, oh, I'm going to be rich like Videobob. I'm going to sell cars. I don't make as much money off selling the cars. It's all the other things I do. I have a lot of side hustles. And yes, I do make money off of the cars, but there's a lot that goes into it. It depends on what you value your time at. And that's a big subject. You plan on making any more video projects in the future? Other than this, the YouTube is the future of my videos. I probably won't be making a lot of produced videos that don't go on YouTube. This is the platform. This is where it's going. Trying to see how do you say your name? Is it Sarkozy? Hello, Bob. How is the K4000 project going? When do we get a new video? Well, we haven't been doing a lot with it. We have, he's talking about the Knight Rider 2000, which is a screen use car, or the Knight Rider 4000 from the movie Knight Rider 2000. We have the screen use car. We're going to restore it. It's got a blown motor. We need to buy a whole new motor for it. It needs a complete restoration. I'm busy building some other paid clients' cars right now, so I'll get to it when I can get to it. Edgar wants, are you going to make an album? Well, I'm in a cover band, so I wouldn't make I can't do better than the original song, so the answer would be no. Now, here's somebody who doesn't know me very well. John says, would you consider building a Tony Montana Caddy? I have that car already. We already did it. We did it on my television show, Screen Machines. It was the first episode, or it was the second episode they aired. And you can see it in one of my most viewed videos on my channel where I show the fleet of movie cars. I have the yellow Caddy with the tiger strapped interior, with a trunk full of cocaine and guns and money and a chainsaw with blood all over it. I have the car, and it's at my shop. So, yes. Jeff wants to know, you make any purchases at the gun show yesterday? I did. I bought a speed loader for my 223, and I bought a red anodized upper for another AR build. So one says, Bob, have you ever been Rickrolled? Well, if you don't know what a Rickroll is, that's when you click on a link or you get sent something, and then instead of the thing you were expecting, you get the Rick Astley song, Never Gonna Give You Up. Well, I have a jukebox in the other room with that record in it, and I will move it around sometimes, and people will push the button to hear, like, Johnny Cash or something, and instead they'll get never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Yeah. So I Rickroll people all the time with that. It's pretty funny. Let's see. Let me go back and look at some of your other questions. What was this about? How much skull ring? You're talking about the gold ring that I did a video on? I think I said in the video, I think I paid about, what, $4,500 for that thing. Yeah, he's talking you're talking about the skull ring I got from Jason of Beverly Hills. I bought it at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas, and I think they had it retailed for like $6,000. I bought it for $4,500. Solid gold ring with diamond dies. I think I have it right here. Hold on. In my box of bling. Here it is. So this is a solid gold ring with diamond eyes. Doesn't look like much, but you can't find something like this just at your local jewelry store. And that's a custom made piece, and I wear it right here like that. This light's a little bright here. Maybe I can move that over. Maybe I can lower the brightness of the screen. I don't know if that helps. I'm kind of washed out. I'm so white. I have another skull ring, which is this silver one here. And this is a replica of the one Keith Richards wears, the guitar player for the Rolling Stones. And I like to wear that one. And this one here I like. This is a nameless ghoul from the band Ghost. I got it at the Great Frog of London and on Melrose Avenue in LA. I get some cool rings. I whip out once in a while when I'm going to go out rocking and rolling. Let's see here. Garrison says, what's a word of advice you could give for someone wanting to make their first $1 million? I have no idea. I haven't made my first $1 million. At least, well, I mean, collectively I've made millions of dollars, but I've never had $1 million all at once. I used to tell my brother, we used to joke and say, I'm a millionaire. I just haven't collected all the checks yet. I'm going to go take a look here real quick. I'm going to check my Facebook. Okay. Okay, so when I look at my Facebook, when people comment on Facebook, it pops on the Facebook and on here. That's interesting. So let me see. It says new comments. Brown wants to know, how did you meet Vinny? Well, I've known him my whole adult life, I guess, or since I was about 15 or 16. Yeah, I used to go to Heavy Metal Club, and his band Pantera would be playing, and but I didn't really hang out with Vinny and Daryl that often, much then. I mean, I was like a little kid, you know what I mean? I was a kid. But later in life, you know, as I was making music videos for other bands, you know, him and his brother, they were well aware of me. I mean, I'd worked on on a project with Daryl for the band Drowning Pool. I did their first music video that played on MTV. And then when Dave Williams, the singer of Drowning Pool, died, I helped their manager with a DVD called Cinema. And I did the interviews for that. And I got to build a little bit of a relationship with Dimebag before he was killed. So Vinny had seen me around. You know, I would be invited to his parties and things. But, I mean, he would have a party with like 200 or 300 people there, and I would be there amongst them. And anyway, when he started his record company in 2006, he called me up. He said, hey, I've been aware of your work for a long time. I need somebody like you to help us do these things. We need to make music videos. We need to reach out to social media. We need to do photo editing. And you know how to do all that stuff. So are you interested in working, you know, for me? And I was like, hell yes, I am. And from that, I went on to me doing other things. I mean, just anything needed to be done. Driving his car, driving his limo, driving the tour bus, whatever. And that's what happened. That's, you know, and it just went on from there. And he was one of my best friends for 15 years up until he died. Keith says, did you get any serious offers for your 2004 roles? I did. I got a few people that offered me some money. Maybe I'm holding out too much. Maybe I should lower the price on a little bit. I put so much money into the car. I feel like I made the car right, you know, and the car's over at my buddy's shop, Christian's, right now, because it had a little bit of an oil leak and I wanted that fixed. And even though it wasn't a big deal, I just wanted it fixed. And we replaced some hoses and other brackets and things. And, you know, and I tried to explain to other people, I go, look, you know, when you buy an older car, you might spend more money to find one with lower miles, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a car that doesn't need repair just because age alone, you know. But I don't know. We'll see. Edgar says, have you ever met the Rolling Stones? No, I've never met a single Rolling Stone. That would be cool, though. Let's see. Steve says, I know that you've been close to Pantera, but what would be your preferred heavy band minus the Cult? You know, it's funny you mentioned the Cult. These guys aren't probably considered heavy metal, but I'm a big fan of the band Ghost, which sounds a lot like the Cult, in my opinion. Great band. And they sound like Blue Oyster Cult. I would say more than the Cult is what I should have said. But I really like the band Ghost. They're one of my favorite newer bands, I would say. Chris, have you and Rachel ever thought about coming back to Australia at some point? It would be good to finally meet you guys. You know, yes, I would love to come to Australia. Let's see here. Now, Chris Smith is somebody who's been a fan of mine for a very long, long time. Chris Smith, I'm going to send you, go check your Facebook Messenger. And look at there. My counter just popped off. I'm now at 92,300 subscribers just now. It just clicked over. I'm at 92,300 subscribers just now. So people are subscribing right now, which is a great idea. Make sure you like and subscribe on the video if you're watching this on YouTube. So this is going to be the new Videobob show, and we're going to have guests. It's going to be awesome. So for the first time ever, this is your opportunity, Chris. I sent you the link to your messenger. If you have a phone or laptop or whatever with a camera, microphone, all you have to do is click on the link, follow the instructions on there, and then I can bring you up on camera. You can talk to me in person for the first time. And I'm going to do this. This is one of the things we're going to do on our show, where we're going to have celebrity guests on or other interesting people talking about different subjects. And I'm going to allow people that are fans to come on. Let's see. Nordic Rider says, your head is shinier than the $200 riding mower I bought an hour ago. Why do you have a shiny riding mower? Am I using StreamYard? I got to tell you, the answer is yes. Let's see. Where's my banners? There it is. Live with StreamYard. Now, I need to learn how to make this banner. I need to make my own banner. I need to learn how to do that. This is the first time I've used it. I've got a couple different things I can do here, but I've just started using it today. I've bought the premium version of it, and so far it's awesome. Let's hear Scott DeLorean. What happened to moving your operation to Vegas? Well, I'm working on it. Let's see. Hey, Bob, what's happening? Let's see. What is this? How about Morrissey? What about him? I love Morrissey. I love the Smiths. When I went to Manchester earlier this year, I went to the Salford's Lads Club, took a picture in front, just like Morrissey did many years ago. I love Morrissey. You'd never guess that heavy metal guy likes Morrissey, but I do. Let's see. Yeah, it does take time. I am working on it. House Father wants to know about tips for people getting into filmmaking. I have no tips. Steve says, I will surely listen to Ghost songs. I love Ghost. What's your opinion on Blues Brothers 2000? Where did it go? I tried to click on it. It didn't work. There it is. I gotta be honest, I've never actually watched the movie. I have refused to watch it. Let's see here. John says, would you ever consider wearing a bespoke suit? I would. I do need to get one. The suit jacket I have is an Armani coat that I bought from, believe it or not, from Jennifer Parker, or that was or Claudia Wells. She played Jennifer Parker in Back to the Future. She was Marty McFly's girlfriend. She has a clothing store out in Sherman Oaks in California, and she's a close friend. She's even stayed here at the house. And I went into her store one time. We were out in LA, and I bought a suit from her. But I do need to get one tailor-made for me because my arms are long and everything. All right. So here we go. For the second time, my second ever guest on the Videobob show, also from Australia. I have a lot of Australian friends. Where's my tube of Vegemite? I had it sitting here. We were talking about Vegemite the other day. Here we go. Here comes Chris. He's from, what part of Australia are you from? Oh, wait, I need my headphones. Shit, I can't hear you. There I am.
There we go.
There he is. First time ever getting to talk to you.
It is, mate. It's good to finally meet you.
Now, you're up in, where are you, in Melbourne, or where are you at?
I'm up in Queensland.
Queensland,
on the East Coast, up in the Sunshine Coast, it's called.
Okay. And so I was talking to Nick earlier. He was, are you guys under the COVID bans and all that stuff? You got the masks and the shutdowns and things?
Not where I am at the moment. I know when I was talking to you last time, you were heading down to Sydney for the Download Festival down in New South Wales. And at the moment, New South Wales and Victoria, the state below, they've ramped up their restrictions now. Melbourne in Victoria, they've got to wear their masks every day, everywhere now. So up in Queensland, we've had maybe 5 cases in the last month. So it's pretty relaxed. We're almost back to normal up here. So they're predicting we may have another wave mid-August. So everybody's just preparing for that. So.
I'm just dying to get away from all this shit. It's like if I have to go all the way to Australia to do it, I might, you know.
Well, we'd love to have you over here again.
Absolutely, but there's no concerts. You know, there's no concerts, but there's got to be something going on. So the seasons are slightly reversed as well. So right now, you know, being the end of July, it is a hot mother effer here in Texas. So what's the weather like there now?
It's midwinter here at the moment. Had a few chilly mornings. Last week was all rainy and windy, but thankfully today is, well, have a look where I am at the moment. It's nice and sunny, and
Oh, that
I'm
looks
actually
great.
at work. Yeah, I'm actually at work at the moment, so just kicking around, and it's very, very quiet, obviously due to the virus thing. But we get a lot of our supplies from down Victoria and all that sort of thing, so everything's a lot slower than what it usually is. So enjoy the quiet time while I can.
Now, just you don't have to give any details, just for the viewers. What is it you do there?
Well, I'm happy to tell them. I work for a little family-owned company, and we supply cleaning supplies to schools and hospitals and emergency services. So, yeah, it's pretty full on.
That little puck thing you put in the urinal, do you guys carry those?
We do. They've gotten rid of those at the moment because they're
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're carcinogenic. So we have little plastic mats that have got a scent to them now. So
I like the mat better.
It is.
It doesn't ricochet.
A lot better. Yeah, no splashback on that one.
Yeah. I am dying to get back to visit some imperial nation. I don't care if it's Australia, New Zealand, Canada, England, Scotland. I'm ready to get out of America. This place is just pissing me off. I got to be honest. I mean, you got between the COVID and the you got all these protests. And I'm just like, I want to go somewhere where, if that place exists, where there's no politics and I can go just have a nice English breakfast.
That's right. Well, as you know, when you're over here, we're pretty laid back and not really many things bother us. So a lot of things going on, we just let it slide off our back. We just take it as it comes.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm dying to go on a trip. Like for instance, up in New Mexico, a state just above us, they were announcing that if you spent the night there in their state, they wouldn't let you out unless you self-quarantine for 14 days. Wow. How do they enforce that? But that is crazy. Like when you
stage where we call we have a running joke where we call people from the southern states, we call them Mexicans. And at the moment, we've actually set up a temporary, they're horrible. They're big plastic bollards to stop people jumping the border. And we've got people smuggling up in trucks and literally jumping the bollards and running through the border. And it's ridiculous.
Wow. I'm just trying to keep track of all the comments here. This guy says, no splashback. I remember the first time I was at the Hard Rock Casino in Las Vegas. Is the first place I've ever seen this. They put like a carpet mat in the urinal. It was like it might have been actual carpet, but it was so weird because you'd pee on this thing and it was like peeing on your carpeted floor on a rug, but it prevented any kind of ricochet and splashback. And I was like, man, I wish more places had something like that, because you go into, just being that you're talking about janitorial stuff, and only guys know this. Women watching wouldn't know this, but it's like everywhere. It's a mess.
It doesn't matter where you aim; it's going to come back at you twice as bad.
Yeah, and you wear nice shoes. It's impossible. So you go into these nice casinos in Vegas, they would literally, not only would they have that, they'd have a little shoe polisher in case you pissed on your shoe. I was like, this is the greatest idea ever. But I guess
that one.
Yeah, that's in a high-end place, because if you're wearing some shiny shoes. This guy Juan says I should rickroll you. How am I supposed to do that? I'm never going to give you up. Never going to let you down. So anyway, all right. Well, it was finally got to have you on. Eventually, one day, I'm going to make it up to your section. Hopefully, there'll be another music festival, a download festival or something, and that'll give me a great excuse. Not that you need an excuse to go to Australia, but it helps to have just something going on, because I get bored pretty easily. Like the truth is, the whole world, the whole civilized world, has become fairly homogenous. You can go pretty much anywhere and find the same shit. I'm going to go down on your street corner and there's going to be a McDonald's, as you call it, a Macca's, and a gas station, and a grocery store, and maybe the brands are a little different, but at the end of the day, kind of every place is kind of the same nowadays if you travel. And
where I am, my little town, we have a lot of pubs.
Yeah, pubs are fun. Like some of the most fun I had in Sydney, was going to this place called Frankie's Pizza. It was like a literally underground pizza place in the middle of downtown Sydney. Where
It's a great place.
It's great. I had more fun there, but that place could exist anywhere. Like really, there's a pub like that, kind of anywhere you go. I've found, or that's a major city. I'm not a beach guy. We went to Bondi, and I was the only guy there wearing like all black pants, black shirt, black hat. I looked like I was there for a funeral because I
was watching the video then too, and some of the things you pointed out, and I could not stop laughing.
What was I pointing out that was funny?
I think some of the people, what they were wearing and what you were comparing them to. I can't remember what that was now, but I just remember
being the stripes.
sticky.
We noticed
That's
that
the one. That's the one.
Stripes is popular in Australia. And actually Rachel has a lot of striped outfits. She's got a pair of black and white striped shorts she's been wearing. And I go, oh, you got some Australian shorts. And that's our kind of running joke because while we were there, we're just like, shit, everybody dressed like a mime. Stripes are popular here, horizontal stripes. And I think what I think the reason is because stripes only look good on thin people that are fit. And so many Americans are so fat that we won't wear horizontal stripes because it makes you look fatter.
I know we got a few people here that should not be wearing stripes.
Well, the American invasion has been hitting even all the way down there. You got the McDonald's, and I was mad at myself that I went to McDonald's while I was there. I was like, why the fuck am I going to McDonald's? I'm in Sydney, Australia. But it was the only thing that was open at the time because the whole city shuts down at 5, 6 o'clock. It was just,
it's like a curfew at the night time, and it ruins everything.
And then they had lockouts. You leave the bar, you can't get back in. So we were at this really nice Marriott hotel right there by the what is it, Circular Quay? It's called. Where the ships come in. And the only place I could find something to eat that wasn't at the 7-Eleven was the McDonald's, and it's the exact same in Manchester, England, and in Sydney as it is here. The only thing you might find a few menu items that are a little different, or things might be called a little different, or maybe the proportions are a little different. But at the end of the day, if you were to come here, it's the same everywhere, and which is one of the things that's great about those kind of restaurants is because at least you can trust it. It's like you're like, I don't know if I can trust where I am and what food I might get. I have no idea what might be waiting for me. Like, what is it you call Burger King there? It was a Hungry Jack.
Hungry Jack. That's it.
Yes, Hungry Jack. Because for some reason there was already a Burger King registered there, so they just changed the name to Hungry Jack. Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is Burger King, but it's not. And those kind of strange things are things that you find. But absolutely, the candy is better. I have these. I've talked about my Airwaves gum, how I love these. Right?
Still got heaps of them.
Yeah, and these are common for you. They're at every checkout, probably at every 7-Eleven or store you go to, but you cannot buy them in the United States. And I went to the little store next door to the hotel, and I just grabbed the whole box off the shelf and took them to the counter. And the guy looked at me like, you want to buy all of these? I go, yes. And he's like, these are like $2 a piece. I was like, ring them up, dude. I want them. I'm like, I'm taking them on the plane with me. He's like, okay. He didn't understand.
We actually have specialty shops over here too that you go to that sell, American junk food, like all the candy and Hershey's and all that. You go to a special shop for that, or a special little aisle in the supermarkets. So,
yeah. So, all right. Well, I'll let you get back to work. You've got urinal cakes and trifold towels and toilet paper and
hand sanitizer.
Lots of hand sanitizer to get back to. Here, it's because they ran out of hand sanitizer. The alcohol companies started making hand sanitizer. So, and they would literally just put it in their bottle. It would be like a bottle of whiskey, but it would be hand sanitizer. I was like, this is going to be a great scam. We could start selling, vodka and call it hand sanitizer
until they start drinking it.
You're like, no, I'm cleaning my insides.
Can't catch it if I'm drinking it.
Yeah. All right, buddy. See you online. Thanks for joining me. And
no worries. Thanks for having me, mate. It's good to finally meet you.
Absolutely. Well, maybe we'll do that real in person next time.
Well, hopefully everybody over there stays safe and well, and Yeah, keep kicking on.
All right. Cheers.
Thanks,
All right.
mate.
Okay, so that's kind of what we're going to be doing in the future. That's kind of the plan. Is we'll be able to have people come on, and you know, Chris is somebody who I've never met in person, but he's been a fan, and he's been watching me for a long, long time. So that's the first time I ever got to talk to him. Everybody says, "Hey, take care, Chris." Let's see here. Let me go back and look at the Royale with cheese. That's right. Brown Chicken says, "Do you have Snapchat?" I do, but I don't use it. I haven't been on there before. What's to know, Burger King or McDonald's? I'm gonna go with McDonald's. I think Burger King is trash. I gotta be honest. It's pretty nasty. I don't know. They used to be good. I haven't been there in so long. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again. Let's see what Mark says. He says, we have pubs like that in Portland, and you can beat up Antifa fascists. That's right. I got to be honest, Mark. I don't think I will probably ever in my life return to that portion of the East Coast. There was a car I wanted to buy, I think in Alberta, and I was considering going and getting it. I was like, you know what? I am forever done with anything. Like, I'm not ever returning to San Francisco. I'm never going to Portland, Seattle. I'm done with that section of the country. Done with it. Done with it. Never going back. Just saying. Last time I went to San Francisco, I wanted to drop by Amoeba Music over there, you know, Haight Ashbury. And this has been a couple of years ago, but I was genuinely in fear for my life. I mean, I got back. I'd driven my bus there. I got back in the bus. I was like, F this. I'm out. Eastward ho. Get me out of here. It's just done. And people are moving from California to Texas in such huge numbers that California has been buying billboards all up and down the highways here in Dallas, begging people to come back to LA. Just literally begging them to come back to LA. Like putting up pictures of like famous LA landmarks like Randy's Donuts or the Hollywood sign going, we miss you, come back. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. It's crazy. You need a Videobob mic flag with your channel. I think I'm whoring myself out enough. I've got my Videobob thing up here in the corner, and I've got my big giant name there. And what else do I got? Let's see. I go to my banner section. I got the Videobob show. I got that right there. And don't forget to make sure to like and subscribe and share. But I've got all that cool stuff. All right. Let's see here. Ever tried Vegemite? It's not good. Well, it's, you know, it's just a salty yeast. You put it very thinly on toast. And it's just, you know, probably if I had acclimated myself to it, I'd be used to it. But it's called self-promotion. But I am a attention whore. Highway robbery laid off toll workers and raised all the prices for real. What are you talking about? I'm not sure what that was about. I'm sorry, I missed the other half of that. Let's see here. Oh, ever made Stephen Adika? Well, I was. Here, let me send you a link right now. Hold on. What are you doing right now? Let me go. Oh, people are texting me. Gosh darn it. Let me turn this off. Hold on just a second. See, I'm not all fancy like you. I don't have a moderator. Go check your messenger real quick. I just sent you a link. What's this? Good can of Heinz maple beans. I love Heinz beans. For those of you who don't know, and you know, in the, as we know, call them the imperial countries, Canada, you know, UK, Australia, Heinz company makes beans, and they're just the best. They're so good. I mail them in. I ship them in. I only eat the blue label can Heinz beans. Let's see here. This is a good question. When are you going to bring back the Scream Machine TV show? I used to have a television show called Scream Machines. It was played on the Reels channel. It played throughout the rest of the world on the Discovery Channel networks, like DMAX, DMAX Asia, Northeast Asia, whatever it was called, Turbo. It played in Australia. The show was huge in Australia. But, you know, we did the show back in 2014, 2015. It's not coming back, you know. It's done its run. I would love to be able to put it online, but it's under contract still for probably another year. And hopefully I could buy the show and you know, we can do that. Let's see, what is this? You don't know what you're supposed to have, a little Vegemite, not a big spoonful. You know, I know you just put a tiny little bit on there, but it's just, it's not the, you know, it's Americans aren't used to it. Let's see. River says, weren't you asking people last year to message Netflix and let them stream it? I was, but listen, Reel still owns the show. AMS still owns the show. The problem is that it has different ownerships in different parts of the world. Discovery owns it through TCB media rights throughout the rest of the world. Reels owns it domestically. It's, you know, I don't own, when you do a television show, unless you produce it, you don't own it. I was an employee of the TV show. John says, we have Marmite in the UK. Love it or hate it. Let's see here. Jeff goes, what is your format? I have no idea. We're working that out right now. Normally, I just do YouTube Live, or I'll do TikTok Live, or I'll do Facebook Live, and I've been doing that for many years. But thanks to meeting my friend Michael McVeigh and being on the Stephen Adika show, I was so blown away by how cool their format was and how it works that I thought, I really need to be doing this as well. Well, I mean, I do this normally every Sunday. The only thing that's changed is I now have this little app. So I've been doing this for a long time anyway, but using the, what do they call this? The StreamYard. I was going to call it Yardbird. Using the StreamYard thing, this is a way cooler way of doing it than just reading the comments. I can now put them up on, yes, Coffee Talk and Talking Wax. That was so much fun. I'll post a link in this as soon as we're done. There was a 5-hour-long show on the Adika Live show with Mark Singer, drummer for Kiss, Mark Slaughter from the band Slaughter, and his friend Pat. Oh my God, Pat has such a great collection, and it just it was so much fun. I sent you a link. Go click. I'll bring you on right now. Unless, you know, for just a minute if you want, and you can give yourself a shout out. Here's let's see, how much would you charge for Tony Montana County? I don't know. That would be kind of hard to do. I mean, it could be done again, but I'd have to look into it. Here's Johnny David, fellow Rolls Royce owner. What happened with your Ghost? Did you ever get your Ghost fixed? Your Ghost shocks were blown out. Had to send it in for repair. Let's see. There we go. It was Mark Slaughter, Eric Singer, and Pat Lucero. Oh, what a great show that was. Didn't get to bed till like 3, 4 in the morning. It was crazy. Bro, don't ask. The joys of Rolls-Royce ownership. Yeah, it's just it's like having a hot chick for, you know, it's just open it up wide and throw money into the hole. Same thing. Let's see. Are you working on Back to the Future DeLorean number 32? No, we're on number 34 right now. Resend the link. I sent it to your personal messenger. Let's see here. Let me do it again. Let's see. This is the one that I'm friends with. Check your messenger. Did you block me already? Unless you have another one I can send it to. I wonder if now. So I'm still trying to learn how to work this thing, and it would be great if you could send. Can you send a message internally? Let me see. See, my only. Oh, there he is. There you are. Hold on. Let me get my headphones on. There we go.
Welcome.
I was actually doing some research for you on this microphone. I was looking at some of these on eBay. So they're about $300. They're kind of expensive. But you can probably find a used one cheap.
I don't want Jews. I don't want Oive's back. I don't want spit. But I need a mic. I watched some of the replay. I can't watch myself more than 20 minutes. 5 hours? That was insane. But I need a mic. And you have a professional. You're like the Wolfman Jack of YouTube.
This has been a standard professional microphone for the last probably 40 years. It's been around for. I've owned this microphone over 20 years. That I did voiceovers with. It was so covered in dust, I had to hose it off with a duster before I used it because I haven't used it in years. But the thing is now you can buy a simple XLR cable that goes directly to USB as an adapter and plug it right into your computer. So you're going to spend like $100 for this frame that holds the microphone if I bring it on camera.
Yeah.
And then you'll spend like another $100 on the little arm that holds it. And then, so you might spend $500 on the whole setup, which is a lot of money, but I think it's worth it because it's a good investment. And I could sell this mic, even though it's 20 years old. I could sell this thing for all the money I spent on it. It's just, it's a good investment.
It looks cool. It sounds
good. It looks
good.
Cool.
And mine looks like something from a old, I don't know, looks like something.
It's like a Mr. Microphone. It's a Ronco Mr. Microphone from 1978.
Very K-Tel Records. K-Tel Records.
You sound okay, though. You sound okay.
You know what? After 5 hours, I think I almost got the lighting right. I moved it because I had it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I looked like I was in a cave yesterday, but it's getting better. Every day it's getting better. Not bad.
I look very red.
You look good. You look either high blood pressure, you sound the sun, or you're like you could be ready for Halloween. The devil.
I think it's this. I'm in a red room. I think the red is reflecting on me. That could be it. But I'm very translucently white.
So wait a second. Are you using StreamYard? I feel like I'm on my show.
I am. I was so impressed being on your show, how professional it was. For everybody who hasn't seen it, tune into his show. Coffee Talk with Adika. I'll put a link on there. And I just said, this is the greatest thing. I've been doing live streaming for many years, ever since it first came out. I do this every Sunday with my fans, and I just read their comments. Mm-hmm. And I've been on live on Facebook. I've done it on TikTok, Periscope, every kind of live there is. But I love this format and the ability to be able to bring people up and to post their questions and all that kind of stuff. Just like this guy. Here we go. Baba Booey.
But it looks good. You look. You're doing it good. It's actually, I found it accident, and it was an accident thing. It was a happy accident, I guess. A fan turned me on to it. I wanted to engage with people and get more people on, and I'm not getting no money from this. But it works great because the audience, the YouTube world, they want to be heard, and they want to feel engaged. Last night, where else can you be engaged? I had you on. We had Eric Singer from Kiss, had Mark Slaughter from Slaughter, had my co-host Oive. Then we had Pat, Pat is best friends with Mark Slaughter. So you got this.
Pat was amazing, by the way. He needs his own show.
I'm going to have him next week. I do a show every Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time. And it's called Talking Wax. Now, it goes anywhere. It could go from anywhere. And originally, it's just about pulling your favorite record. You're not supposed to look. For example, Meet the Beatles. I was 5 years old, and I used to stare at that album cover. So you get every guy who's a cool guy, you could see the child in them. I'm 53, so you see the little kid, and the stories come out. And then I got Mark on there. I got Eric from Kiss. And then we get the fans. And the fans is what makes the show. Go Kiss Army, Alan. That's right. That's right. So
and also, you were doing well with the super chat. I saw so many $20 comments. I rarely get a $20 comment. And I know a lot of people that do lives, and they will only read super chat comments, which is a little elitist. But maybe I'll get to that point one day where that'll be the only ones you'll be able to read, because there are people out there with enough followers where they have 5,000-10,000 people watching, and the only way you could read somebody's comment is with a super chat, which is what it was designed for.
It's designed for that. But you know what? I feel like if people are enjoying the show, of course, there you go. It's James.
Oh, there's one.
Thank you, James.
Bang.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's really about it's a tip.
This is history. The very first super chat on the new Videobob show.
Take a picture of that. Take a picture right there. Look. There we go.
Thank you, James. Let's see who can outdo him.
James, you got to raise those, like Eric Singer. If he's unsure, you got to raise those digits, James. I go, Eric. I get so crazy when Eric Singer comes on my show. So if somebody sends me a $1, I'm like, oh my God, God bless you, thank you. I think it's sweet. And then the Vintage Sounds. Hey, Stefan, great show last night. Thank you, Vintage Sounds. And
it was a great show, and I think that the replay is going to be one of your top viewed replays. I think because it was so much. It's really fun to watch people like Eric. When you're a Kiss fan and you've only seen him as the Cat Man for so many years, but then to see him just sitting around his kitchen eating walnuts or whatever, washing a dish and just being a regular guy. I mean, I have so many celebrity. Rockstar friends. I'm used to that, but
you got the same. Okay, you have the same stories, and it's funny that we go because Eric Singer and Eric always said you need to have your own show. And I go, one day I go, a show would be just great hour phone conversations, and that's really what Coffee Talk or Talk and Wax is. It's a conversation with my friends, but then the audience becomes our friends. Like half these people, it's such a great family, and in these crazy times. People want a place to go, especially on Saturday night. We're all out of our mind, and
there's nowhere to go. Everything's closed.
I had a bottle of wine. I had a good conversation with good guys, and look, Mark Slaughter had Liberace's candle operas he bought at a pawn shop for $30. I mean, come on,
that's a steal.
What a great story that is, and the way he was talking about it, and we really were up all night. I mean, the show went for 5 hours. We were like this, and when we signed off,
we were literally falling asleep. And I think that
it kept going when we signed off.
We kept going for like another hour, yeah. Even after we were signed off, we should have been recording that. And
Dollar Menu, there you go. Number 2, Dollar Menu.
Dollar Menu comes on here all the time. There he is. Super sticker. Look at that. He's got a Trump cartoon for his picture.
I thought it was the Warrant album cover. I have such a bad eye.
Yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to be. It's like the Filthy Singing Rich album cover.
Yeah.
Thank you for that Dollar Menu. He comes on all the time. One of my friends, Carl Todd, he's like my version of McVeigh or Oive, I should say, or maybe a Pat. He's that guy. I mean, you just walk through his house and his walls are just decorated with CDs, and like he just has thousands and thousands of. And he has so back in the '90s, going back to '94, '95. I was doing this before any of this technology existed. It was called cable access. And I did the Videobob show back in the 90s with my friend Carl. And it started off as a show called Underground Connection. And then we just changed that to the Metal Review show, where we would review like Metallica's new album, Why Is It Black? Things like that. And then it settled on the Videobob show as the character of Videobob came to be. And real quick here, let's pull this guy up. James, I'm a homeless Scooby, and you are laughing at me. I don't get that.
I don't get it, but thank you for the thank you. Mazel. I love this guy. He goes, "What is Adika? I'm Adika," and it's when you come to Coffee Talk, you find out what Adika is. You start speaking like Adika. It's it's a Brooklynese, and you start acting like, and I come up with crazy lingos, and I got a bunch of wacky friends. It's like Don Rickles meets Old Stern Howard School and Seinfeld, a show about nothing, and you'll love it.
This guy Just Effects says, I remember those days. Did you used to watch me on cable access back in the 90s?
I did watch cable access. I did.
So now there's a technical question, since you use this platform all the time. You as a guest, can you also click on one of the comments and bring it up, or can I'm the only one who can do that?
We'll use Stefan as Adika as the guinea pig. I could do the comments, and then when you want to talk behind the people, so you click on private chat. So you and I
know about private chat, but I didn't know if you could.
I go hello, and look, nobody could see. I go hello. I could go, that guy only sent you $2. Cheapo. He's a cheap guy, but be nice to him. Right? I can write that, but this is just joking.
This person likes your accent from Brooklyn.
Thank you. I'm Canarsie, Brooklyn, where they filmed the movie Goodfellas. That's where I grew up. I was born. 1967, and really quick for everybody did not see last night's show. My mom was originally going to name me Samuel, but my father comes from Israel, and he wanted to name me after a famous mountain in Israel, Moron. It's called Meron.
Yes.
Meron. But
Yeah.
kids in school would have called me Moron Adika. So I don't know if that would have flied, but that's my story. Could have been Moron or Stefan. Thank goodness they picked Stefan.
Oh, so did you type this here, or who's typing that?
A guest cannot click on the comments. No. Oh no. Oh, coffee talk with Adika. That's my assistant. My wife.
Okay.
If
So your
I
wife's
was-
on the other room.
She's on the.
Well,
other,
I need
she's
to learn how
typing.
to share the screen so that I can have an assistant also.
It's very easy to do to share the screen, and I could should have.
I'm still learning. This is the very first time we've ever used it.
Here's
I
the-
paid for the premium, the $100 a year or whatever it was. or-
Okay, here's the problem. Okay, when you're engaging with people, like say you had a real guy you're interviewing. I'm just Adika, so I'm okay. But you're looking at the comments. I had Doc McGee on my show
Yeah.
when I first started this. Doc McGee.
Well, yeah, it's like you can't be distracted over here trying to do technical stuff while you're trying to have a conversation.
He's the guy who's manages Kiss. He did Bon Jovi, Motley Crue. He also did James Brown, Isaac Hayes. He's the man. So
Yeah.
he was like my first major guy.
Oh, I know Doc.
Yeah, he's the man. So here I am talking to Doc. He tells me, "Oh, my dad was a welder, yada yada," and I'm going into the comments because if you don't engage with the people, the audience, they'll get crazy. They'll get crazy. Yeah, you didn't read my. So I'm reading like over here. You're Doc, and I'm saying, "So Bob, out of all the cars you have made, which one is your favorite?" So then 10 minutes later, I go to Doc. So what did your father do for a living? I'm like, oh. That's why you need to have an assistant to help you with the comments because you'll fall apart.
I think this guy knows you're a Yid. That's what he's trying to say.
He's trying to do who?
I think this comment, Nick, he says he's a member of the tribe.
Nick is my people, the tribe. That's right. I love it. I love it. You have a good Sunday crowd, man. It's like let's go to church with Videobob. I love it.
Yeah, we have about 100 people on. I normally have a little more than that, but I didn't really promote this. I just was fiddling with this thing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go live, and I'm actually simulcasting on my private Facebook, which has 3,000 or 4,000. But on my public Facebook, I probably have 100 and something thousand, I can only do 2, so I have to upgrade to the other service in order to simulcast on 3.
It's okay. I'll go on YouTube. Tomorrow we're on 8:00 in the morning. I got Derek Sherinian coming on, King of Keyboards, virtuoso. From Dream Theater, plays with Joe Bonamassa. They got a Black Country Communion. He has a Sons of Apollo with Billy Sheen and Bumblefoot and Mike Portnoy. The drummer.
Yeah.
So he's my guest, and then I got Friday. I got Nelson, Matthew Nelson from the Nelson Brothers.
Really? Oh my God! I was a huge Nelson fan.
Got
I
him
love it.
coming Friday, and then
Ozzy and Harriet fame.
Yeah, and we got a bunch of stuff. Look at the comments here. Sign me up.
Dollar Menu is back.
Bob Rocks. Thanks for all the great content. Dollar Menu. Look at you. See, he's the guy. He's the guy. Steve, Goodfellas.
He's a dedicated fan.
Yeah, he's good. Look, Steve, definitely Goodfellas, my favorite film. I lived right by the Bamboo Lounge, Steve, where they lit it on fire. I used to wait for a bus.
I saw that one, but I lost it. Where did it go?
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. It's up here. There we go.
Yeah, Steve over there. Look at. I love it.
But,
I love you.
But it is hard to stay engaged when you're. I can imagine having 6-10 people on screen, and then you're trying to moderate over here. But if other people are talking to each other, that helps too.
You got to dance. So it's like you talk, and then you go back into stuff, and you just gotta. Bill K. Stefan, what the hell, man? Bill K's one of my guys. Bill K. Mazel. I love you, Bill K. He's here. You got some of my people here. They're coming over. Bill, are you cheating on me?
This guy says he met Henry Hill in Nebraska, where he was.
Did you really? Is that true?
Where he was hiding out.
No way, Biggie. You want to hear something crazy? I'm going to name drop. Everybody knows who Carmine Appice is, the drummer.
Of course, yeah. I got to hang out with him many times. Him and his brother, both of them.
Vinny.
Which, by the way, Vinny, his middle name is Paul because we were doing a promotional thing with Vinny Paul and Vinny Appice.
Okay.
And they were showing each other's license. They were both named. Their middle names are Paul, Vinny Paul, because Vinny Paul's last name is Abbott. Vinny Paul Abbott. Anyway. Okay. Non sequitur. Go ahead.
No, that's a little crazy. That's wild. Carmine was playing in Brooklyn, the clubs, and one of the clubs he played was Henry Hill's clubs that he had in Canarsie, and then Henry goes, listen, Paulie, when he invites you to the house, you're gonna have to go. You can't say no, Carmine. And Carmine blew my mind. Like I didn't want to know about anything else, but I just wanted to know about that. Very nice guy, by the way.
Imagine going to Henry Hills and having him actually cook you up some Sunday gravy.
That's right.
Right? How cool would that be?
That's right. Look at this, Robert. Holy shit! I love Nelson. He loves Gunnar Nelson. Unfortunately, I got Matthew Nelson, but it wasn't easy. You know, thank God Mark Slaughter gave me. He vouched for me. He said he's
Did he really?
He's one of the guys. He's one of us. So that's fine.
You know, I think you know. What was the show? Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead was one of those shows that created maybe rivalry where there wasn't any, and would, I don't know, make fun of bands like Slaughter, Winger, Nelson, etc., and downplays their amazing talents. You know, I mean, Kip Winger as a musician is one of those untouchable kind of guys, and people want to make fun of him. Like, wait, what are you making fun of? This guy's amazing. And Nelson Twins, okay, they were good-looking blonde guys, but amazing singers. And I don't know why they didn't keep their career going. The last time I saw a promotion with these guys, I don't know if you should bring this up, was before I made the decision to shave my head. I went to one of the hair clinics here to check into having the hair thing done, and the Nelson Twins were promoting like the Rogaine and the Propecia and the hair transplant system. And here's two guys that are so famous for their hair, and they were, I guess, paid endorsees of that. This was, I don't know, 15 years ago or so, but I just remember thinking, wow, I didn't expect that.
Oh my God! You know what?
Maybe we should bring that up.
I went to one of those places too. I love it. I got the receding here, and then when I buzz it, I look like a normal business guy. When it grows out, I'm like a mixture of Keith Richards and Larry Fine from the Three Stooges when I grow it out. But I will say this. So I went to one of those places, and Eric Singer took me. And he goes, oh, you should go get this done. You'll look really good.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I went in there, and the guys are sitting there watching movies. I'm like, oh, it doesn't look that bad. When I looked on the table, it's like a smiley face, this scalp.
Yeah.
And it's a follow,
Yeah.
and they're planting it, but they cut the back. I go,
Yeah.
the hell with that.
I wasn't worried about that. The thing I didn't want to do is you basically have to take the Propecia for the rest of your life.
I took the post. I
And-
took it.
And I didn't want to take it because they're like, well, if you stop taking it, you'll lose what you grew. And it's
That's
sometimes
true.
the side effects. So I decided I'm going to be bald. And I remember, listen, God rest his soul, Vinny's gone now, but I think everybody kind of knew that he had hair work done because you go back, you look at some of those Pantera videos from the 90s, and his hair was pretty thin.
Yeah.
And then he had this big, thick rug after that.
Did he get the transplant?
Well,
did he go for it or?
He didn't like to talk about it. If I brought it up, he looked at me sternly. Because I
Really?
remember when I was looking into doing the hair thing, I go, hey, you think you hook me up with your hair guy, because I'd like to, and because I had a big bald spot back here,
Yeah.
and he looked at me, he's like, don't talk about this. We're not talking about this. And I was just like, come on, man. I go, I've known you a long time. I mean, there's nothing up here. And now all of a sudden you got this helmet. And I'm pretty sure that he had probably got not only implants, but also, I don't know this for certain, but I think he also had maybe weave also put in, because he'd come out of the shower wearing that bandana, patting it down, he'd go in the pool with that bandana. He did. It's like, and you see guys like Poison, Bret Michaels.
Michaels.
You don't see him without a bandana.
But you did. He made a movie. I love talking. You know what? I love talking about this stuff because every guy out there wants to know. He made a movie. Remember this? And he played a convict on death row. I'm not sure if it was on death row, but he was shaved and he looked good with a bald head. Bret Michaels. There's no need to wear the raccoon on the head or the honeymooner's hat. Hoo-hoo. The honey. But I was nervous, but I kept the Propecia. And I would use the minoxidil.
Okay.
Then I stopped the Propecia. And now I'm 53. I have a 23-year-old son. Stopped the Propecia. And my wife, she also got pregnant. And I used to. It was a birth control. And she.
That's what was the comment here. I didn't pull it up. Yeah.
Stefan, can you tell him about how Propecia works as a male birth? Yeah, it works as now I got a daughter named Brooklyn. She'll be 5 August. I love her. She's great, but she's Huckabee Chinik and always busting my balls.
You could have named her Propecia.
I could name the little baby Propecia. Moron and Propecia. There's Daddy Moron and baby Propecia. There they go.
This guy says Elton John had a hair transplant. He's had a lot more than that.
He had many, but don't look good.
But just like somebody was commenting on Eric, was embarrassing him a little bit because he didn't want to talk about it. How he was on your show the other night and he had the gray like us, and then you see him and he's nice and blacked out and everything.
Oh, he talks about he's good. He talks about
But I normally keep this nice and jet black, and it's all I'm out of whack. I mean, Vinny had to do that daily. I remember one time we were in Vegas and he walked past a mirror or something, and he was like, "Oh shit!" He goes, "I'm supposed to meet some people tonight." He goes, "Here, take $20, go find a 7-Eleven, go get me some razor blades and some Sharpies." And he went into the bathroom and he trimmed the thing and colored it in with a Sharpie because he knew he was going to meet somebody and they were going to take pictures of him.
Really?
And I was like, because the truth of the matter is, if he didn't dye his beard, it was snow white. One time he was wearing these big glasses, and I was like, "What's with these Madonna glasses you're wearing?" And he pulled them down and his eyebrows were just white. And he goes, I gotta do my eyebrows. And so, as I started having to do it, you start getting lazy. I call this the COVID beard, but once you kind of start doing it, you have to keep it up if you want to keep up that image. And because I was a ginger, I'm Scottish ancestrally, and this was all red. I used to have a red beard, but it started turning white and blotchy and in different spots, So then I started dyeing it black, and then it gave me kind of a sinister look. I looked a little like Ming the Merciless or something, and I liked that look. And it kind of became my brand. That's how this logo over here happened. And I was just realizing like I need to be able to make that smaller and more translucent because I've got like my logo on your face. I need to take that off of it. Let me see.
No, I like it. I could go this way. If a smart guest comes on, no, leave it there. Leave it.
I don't need to have it up the whole time. People know who I am.
You could mix it up a little bit,
but I haven't had a chance. I need to have somebody hook me up with the overlay because all I have is the standard one. So I need to get one of these made. The translucent. I think I know how to do that. I did learn how to do this. Watch this. Here's my logo.
That's cool.
How about that little transitional piece?
That's very cool.
I need to edit that a little bit, but I'm still learning how to work all the cool stuff on here.
It's very cool. You go on my link. Not that you. So I wish I would have known because I told you to click on my link. Because if you click on the Coffee Talk link, you get $10 off, and then they'll give you $25 credit. And then if you get a bunch of people sign out, they'll get credit using it all the time. You can end up getting it for free.
I had no idea. Otherwise, I would have. I'm sorry. Well,
you should tell me. Yeah. So just a little. So anybody wants to know about the StreamYard, go to Coffee Talk, subscribe to it, and I'll send you the
somebody
link.
Was commenting here. It says the video audio syncing issue is normal on YouTube nowadays. Eventually, it comes back to normal.
Here's the problem, everybody.
So
because you got everybody online.
I noticed there's in the settings there's something that says disable audio processing, and I wonder if that's an issue.
No. I don't know. No, but now here's a little trick I'm going to tell you. So in these videos, you need to download them because they'll save them for a little while, your videos of each show, but you should make a file, download each of them so you don't lose them. I mean, you can put on YouTube, but say you record, you want to just keep them down. And I haven't been doing that on mine. I'm just giving you something that I need to do. So like, for example, when you start from the beginning, download it, make a file, put it on a hard drive. This way you don't lose the video. You could redo it.
So just the facts here. That's the RFD Dan. So RFD Dan or RFD was the Ride for Dime. So our friend Dan here, he knew Dimebag and that whole group. And after Daryl died, he started a motorcycle tribute ride called the Ride for Dime. That I would ride second in command on that every year. Yeah.
Wow.
On my Harley Davidson, I ride a Harley Davidson. Hey Dan, what's happening? He's a big fan of space. He loves the space station, the space shuttle, and I think when you have to remind me, Dan. I think it was one of the space shuttles blew up or something, but I think a piece of the space shuttle landed in his yard or something.
No way.
And he was on the news, like he was interviewed nationally for it. You'll have to tell that story I'll have to
Ooh.
see. We'll do an episode and bring him on and have him tell that story one time. What I was going to do with this with my platform, since I do custom cars and I do music, a little bit different than what you do. What I was thinking of is having people on that are custom car builders, custom movie prop builders, and rather than talking to necessarily the celebrities, for instance, we would have on guitar techs, drum techs, riggers, bus drivers, and get those behind the stage kind of stories. Or same thing with movie props, talking to, like, one of my good friends is Kevin Pike, and Kevin Pike he started his career working on the movie Jaws, working on Bruce the Shark,
Wow.
and he's the guy who built the original DeLorean time machine. He worked on Jurassic Park. He worked in Star Wars. So it'd be great to be able to have people like that on, and we could talk about, well, how did you work on the Shark? What happened? Things like that. I think that would be an interesting show format to do, kind of like what you're doing.
Yeah.
But rather than music or records, talk about the stuff that I know how to do.
I bring everybody on. I had like Lydia Cornell on from Too Close for Comfort.
Yeah.
I'll bring anybody who has a story on. This guy who did storyboards, he got bullied, and they bullied his family. It was insane. It was like a little town, and the guy ended up beating the system, fighting the bullies, suing the parents. And the guy has an incredible story. He does storyboards for Walking Dead, Stranger Than Fiction. It's almost like, remember Straw Dogs with Dustin Hoffman?
Oh. I don't remember that one.
This little town they moved in, they got terrorized. It was a little similar to that story. But I'll bring anybody with a story on. And that's what, it's not only the 80s or 60s, or, I bring anybody has a story. I want it to be like a 60 minutes. I want to do a lot of YouTube vloggers. I'm looking for that. Guys,
everybody is saying that our sync is good. I think it's good. Talk about storyboards. The guy that storyboarded the original Back to the Future is a guy named Andrew Probert. He also did a lot of the futuristic stuff that, like when you would watch Star Trek, The Next Generation, like the control panels, like he was a futurist. He would draw stuff. So when they were making Back to the Future, the filmmakers described what they wanted the time machine to look like to him, and he sketched it out on a piece of paper. So he's really the guy that designed it. But what's interesting about that is I got to be friends with him. And he called me up a couple of years ago, and he said, "Hey, I need you to go outside and take pictures of your car for me, because I'm going to be drawing a picture of the time machine for a toy."
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "I know your car is totally screen accurate, and take a 3/4 rear shot of it. I'm going to draw that, and we'll put it on the box." And I thought, here's the guy that drew the original time machine for Back to the Future in 1984, wanting me to give him a picture of my car to use as a reference. I go, "You invented this?" He goes, "Yeah, but it was like 30 years ago. I don't remember how it goes." And that's when you know you made it. That's when you know you're doing a good job.
That's great. That's funny.
So that is sort of a blowing myself up. But that would be great to have him on and talk about all the different things he storyboarded and all these different future TV shows. And a lot of the guys that worked on the Back to the Future car and the Knight Rider cars I talked about earlier, they worked on like Battlestar Galactica. They worked, so like you think about Battlestar Galactica, and the Cylons had the little red light.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, Knight Rider with the red light.
That's
same
right.
exact little electronic board. It was the same stuff laying around. And I love talking to the guys that built all that stuff and say, well, what were you thinking when you came up with this design? And they're like, "Oh, well, we literally tripped over this thing, or this was a piece of equipment that they threw out." And the time machine has all these repurposed, like it has the big wire plugs that are all over the car. Those are stage lighting plugs that they use for the lighting. They were just laying all over the place at the movie studio. They just grabbed some and put them on the car, So I love those kind of stories.
I do too. Another car I love is Christine.
Well, let me tell you. One of my customers who bought one of my DeLorean time machines, as a matter of fact, the same DeLorean time machine that was on the show Pawn Stars. I don't know if you ever saw my episode, but I took it on the show Pawn Stars. Went to a guy named Martin Sanchez. He owns the actual screen used car from Christine, and he has it on loan at the Peterson Auto Museum. So there's a great person I'd love to have on the show, because he could talk about how when he was a teenager, he was walked past a junkyard and saw all these wrecked red cars in there. And he went in there and was looking at him and was talking to the guy. And the guy said, "Yeah, they just did some kind of a movie or something, And he said, "Could I buy one of these cars?" And he said, "Sure." And he bought a screen used car, the car that chases the guy down the alley. That's the car he owns.
Wow. Though my mic is low again. Bill K says, "I know," and my wife comes and moves my lighting on me. I got to get the mic you got, man. It's unbelievable. It's
Well, one of the
unbelievable.
keys to it is having the
I
you
guess
have to have a
talk this way.
yeah, you got to have the driver for it.
Mhm.
I have to show you a picture of this thing. What I have is a tube amp. It's called the mic tube preamp, and it powers the microphone. It sends 48 volts to the microphone,
Mhm.
and it has two knobs. It has a drive and a gain,
Mhm.
and it's got, rather than being a solid state electrical, I like the tube because it gives a little bit of a warmer
Warm, yeah.
and it, because you're very limited on your computer with how much level you can give it. So by powering it and being able to really pump it and give it more, like I was afraid it was too loud,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And everybody says it sounds good. I can't, as you know, you can't hear yourself.
No,
You can only hear the guest.
You sound perfect. Your voice sounds perfect. I'm thinking I sound good, but apparently Bill K doesn't. So yeah, no.
Well, the issue with your microphone is based on a Shure SM58. That's not what it is, but that's what it's based on. And it's a close proximity mic that's made for singing. So it's made for really yelling into it an inch away from it. Whereas this is kind of made for doing radio.
So I got to be like this. Hey, hi, how you doing today?
It's direct. You have to be speaking directly into it. Whereas this one is kind of made, you see how you have all these areas here. So it's kind of made to pick up a little bit of a bubble like this.
Now, does that goes into a USB, of course, correct? Like,
well, I have it adapted into a USB. Yes, I'm using an adapter that I bought, but I was on eBay, like literally for $12. You can get the XLR connection, which is what's on the back of the microphone, as you know. That goes directly to USB and has a little dongle. I don't know how much noise that's making when I move that around.
No, it's not at all. Your system is actually excellent. So yeah.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah, it's really good. It sounds good. The studio looks good. Yeah.
I'm not even running it through my stuff. I have some three processors I used to always use when I was doing radio or doing voiceovers. There's a thing called a big bottom, which gives you that full deep sound. So like if you were ever to meet Howard Stern and talk to him, he doesn't sound the way he does on the radio.
He doesn't, huh?
He has that thicker, that he uses that same unit to give a thicker, fuller, deep, rich sound to your voice. Then I use a thing called an oral exciter, which sort of just kind of makes it really crisp. And then Lexicon MX100, which does like sound effects, which I don't need for here, that does like the echo and the flange and backward masking. We don't need any of that here. But this is just going directly straight in using that tube preamp, and it seems to be working fine. And this isn't really a studio. I'm thinking about building a studio. You know, I'm just using my iMac. You know, I just have a camera built into the screen, and I'm just using that.
It looks great. The camera looks good. I use a book, iMac Pro. I got the lights. I'm trying to get them angled. I just moved, so we're making this into a studio, and I'm getting, Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm fixing it up, but I am going to do the better mic. You got to email me everything because I love that mic. I like the old school mics, like you'd see Larry King would have. Remember, like the old school Sinatra.
Well, usually those were just for looks, and then they were using lavaliers. I think what Mark was using last night, he might have been using a Neumann or a Blue, because he was using, a vocal singer's microphone.
He sounded good. His vocal.
He sounded great.
But Oy Vey had the best. He had the best connection. He just disappears. I love it. And he always makes
he's just using his like earbuds off his phone or something.
It's like, come on, just fake it till you make it. Just get.
But he's got a cool studio though. What I think Oy Vey should do is maybe turn off his white lights and throw some color behind him. Like I could probably position my screen to be more, like I got that lamp back there.
That looks good, but Oy Vey it's a little white. It's almost like you're getting a colonoscopy. It's a little sterile, his room. His stuff. He doesn't get it. But he has hair. I don't,
Yeah.
He has hair, so God bless him,
I'm considering getting like a better actual camera and hooking it up rather than using the built-in screen camera.
Me too. We need the Piggy Chess brand. I want something to look better, definitely. But no, it looks good. Does somebody ask you a question?
Oh, sorry, I haven't looked yet. I think it limits you though to 720 though. I would like to have a like a 4K, or I don't know if you can. I don't know what the highest resolution you can broadcast in, but I think it limits it to 720. I'm not sure.
No, it goes a little higher. It does. It goes higher on there. Awan goes, "Hey Bob, what's the hardest car in your opinion to build?"
Let me go find that one.
Juan Miguel Martinez, 8:58 p.m.
Have to. Oh, let's see. Here we go. There it is. What's the hardest car in your opinion to build? It would probably be the DeLorean time machine. Not anymore, but the first time. It took us probably 4 years to do that car, and that would be the great subject for, doing one of these. People ask me how I did it, and basically I got in my car in Dallas. I drove to Hollywood. I rented a hotel. I went to Universal Studios, got a weekend pass. At the time, the Back to the Future ride was still open, and they had the car sitting outside. And then they had the original screen use car on the tram tour. So you could only see it when you went on the tram tour. You would just drive past it, right? I went to one of the workers there, and I said, who's in charge of the cars? Who's in the transportation department? They told me who that was, and I went to find them. And I said, what would it take to get hands on that car? Get a few intimate moments with it. I've got a tape measure and a notepad and a camera. I want to take some pictures of it and take some measurements. I'm going to build a replica of the car. The guy says, I'm sorry, we can't do that. And I pulled out a couple $100 and I said, are you sure? Can't find 20 minutes? And he goes, I think my smoke break's coming up. We can do that. And I bribed him.
Really, really? Oh, wow. That's a great story.
Gave him some money, and he took me down there, and I taken pictures and measurements, and I did that a few times. And then I made friends with a guy who worked not directly for Universal, but had Universal access. And how that happened is I had put together like a forum for people who love trying to build the Back to the Future DeLorean time machine. And this guy says, I work for Universal. I can go in there anytime I want. So I went back out there again. We went there in the middle of the night. We pulled up the security card gate. He shows him his badge. We drove my car all the way up to where the car was in the middle of the night. Believe it or not, they left the keys in the car. We opened the car. We're sitting in the car. We're taking pictures. We could molest the car any way we wanted to. Nobody was around to see it. And we took all the measurements and pictures and things. And that's how I learned what it was. So then I watched the end of the movie, and it said, props, Kevin Pike, special effects, film tricks. I contacted him, and I says, can I hire you for some consulting? And he said, sure, I'm available. And I try to tell this to people. I go, look, you gotta throw money around. People don't want their time abused. They don't want to be taken advantage of. And when you throw a few $100 at somebody, it's not a lot of money, but you at least show them that you value their time. And that's how I got it done. And I said, hey, tell me how you built the time machine. And he goes, let's go on a little field trip. He took me down to the actual junkyard where they got the parts. Lo and behold, some of the parts were still there.
That's wild.
And they had bins where they sold, surplus items. And I bought like everything. And it took about 4 years to build the first car. But once we had the jigs and the templates and everything together, now we can build a DeLorean time machine in about a month. And we built 34 of them so far.
Wow. That's pretty good. Bill K, did you do Jay Leno with that car? Did you?
There was a time machine on the Jay Leno car, and that wasn't my car. That was Joe Walser and Terry Metalis. And Joe Walser is the guy I was talking about who got me onto the lot. Okay. So he ended up becoming an expert in the DeLorean time machine, and he ended up restoring that car because it had fallen into bad repair. And after a couple of years of us mutually becoming experts in the thing, because he lived out there, he lobbied to Bob Gale, who wrote the movie Back to the Future, who it's a long story because the car belonged to Amblin Entertainment, Steven Spielberg, and it was on loan to the park, but they convinced him to let them do a restoration of the car. They've restored the original screen use time machine, and it's now on display at the Peterson Museum out in Beverly Hills in Hollywood.
Fairfax, on Fairfax, right?
You know where it is, the big crazy looking building. You've been there.
I've been there many times. It's where I think was it Biggie. That's where in front where Biggie got shot. I think Biggie Smalls.
Could be.
It was right there. Yeah. Tupac was in Vegas. Biggie Smalls got killed right in front of the Peterson Museum.
I didn't know that.
Little tip for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we should get Melrose on.
Oh, he won't come on.
Okay, no, let's not.
He won't come on with me. I have no problem with him. He's just a lunatic. You'll bounce him from your show too. You'll see.
Oh, I'm sure.
Kenneth Harris. Look, the car that kills them all, that changed car culture, is the American Graffiti Coupe.
Let me go find. I don't see that comment. I'm looking for it.
He's at 9 p.m.
There it is. Okay, there it is.
I remember that car.
It is. That's a good car. I think there's a replica of it at the Mel's Diner display at Orlando. Because they're trying to make it look like Hollywood there.
Yeah.
So if you go to the Orlando, this is it's not a secret. I'm not allowed to advertise it formally, like on my resume, but I'm the one that restored the car, or I built the car that's at Orlando. So if you ever go to Universal Studios Orlando, there's a time machine in there on display. I built that car. And it's not like my name is on the car. There's a plaque on the car with my name on it.
Wow.
But as a Universal vendor, all of their products are what they call white label products. You're not supposed to, like, so I'm not allowed to put, like, on my profile, I built this car. But a natural conversation like this,
But,
so if you happen to go to Universal Studios Orlando for a vacation and you see the DeLorean time machine on display there, I may or may not have built the car.
But that's very cool. This is very cool. You gotta feel proud about that.
It is, and it's probably one of the most photographed cars on the planet Earth because thousands of people all day long are taking pictures of it. And we recently had a little bit of a controversy that turned into a weird situation I didn't know how to handle, because really I have nothing to do. I don't own the car, they own it. But a couple of like wannabe rap star guys, they jumped the fence, they stood on top of the car and took pictures of themselves standing on the car. And this caused a lot of outrage with the fans because they're like, this is something precious to us, and you're standing on the car. And then it turned into like in today's political world, turned into like a racial commentary. I said, there's nothing racial going on here. You can't stand on somebody's expensive, this is a rare car, and people were very upset about it. And everybody wanted my opinion of it, and I was just like, I don't own the car anymore, but it's heartbreaking that there's so much disrespect out there. It's not like things used to be, I would never in a million years think to myself, oh, look, a Ferrari, let's jump on top,
No, never. Bill Kay, he just said at the bottom, a 32 Deuce Coupe, John Milner's car. That's right. Is it 30? That's right. The American Graffiti. Yeah, Then Suzanne. Okay, what did Suzanne Summers drive in American Graffiti? Does anybody remember?
I don't remember. I have no idea.
Nobody remembers, huh?
No.
It was now I forgot. It was shoot. That's why I want to ask somebody. I remember.
Somebody's gonna have to Google it and look it up. Well, that was Steven Spielberg's first movie.
Oh, it was, and George Lucas.
Yeah,
it was both of them, right?
I think so.
The Suzanne. It was a Thunderbird. It was a Thunderbird. I believe she was driving a Thunderbird. Am I wrong?
Could have been
T-Bird.
That's what everybody seems to be saying. I saw a comment here. I was going to try to find here. Let me see. Where did it go? This person wanted to know, Bob, how often are you in Branson or Missouri? I don't think you can be in Branson unless you're in Missouri. Kind of works that way. Well, I'm there all the time. A friend of mine named Scott Velvet has now Scott Velvet is somebody who I'm sure Eric would love to, or probably knows who he is, because his dad was Jimmy Velvet. Jimmy Velvet was a good friend to Elvis and had some hits during that era. And he had the Velvet Elvis collection, which is funny, Velvet Elvis. And his son, Scott, has the car museum there in Branson, and they have one of my DeLorean time machines on display. He said, which is one of the most hot cars there, but he has a huge collection of amazing cars. And he's also a big Elvis fan. And there's a weird thing about Elvis, cars, music that seems to correlate, and it is definitely a binding factor with certain people that we can bond over. I've definitely found that. Let's see. They said it was a white 56 T-Bird. He says there.
I just saw some pictures. Somebody just posted. A friend of mine posted pictures. Oh, my buddy Robbie Crane. He was posting pictures of Elvis outside of his California home, Bel Air home. God, and Elvis was standing outside the gates. The guy always looked cool. Always looked cool.
Elvis is just superhuman. I can't even imagine like meeting the guy.
No,
it'd be like meeting Jesus.
My buddy Kevin, his mother got to meet Elvis. It's a great picture.
That's right.
He now plays in Buck Cherry, but it was Elvis at the MGM with the white suit around when he did That's the Way It Is, and he looked so killer. And his mother's with Elvis. He's wearing a white suit, and you could see the scarves that he had on.
Now, Dan here, Just the Facts. He posted a video I remember a few years ago
of
Elvis getting off the plane for the Aloha concert, and he filmed him while he was walking past, and I think he shook his hand or something. But
Really?
Dan, yeah, he has some great video. So we'll have to have him on as a guest.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, this guy wants to know what's the easiest car to build. Probably a car that doesn't require any modification. I mean, there's movie cars out there. You just leave it alone, and it's.
Elvis's car, and that's the way it is. The one was that a Lincoln that he was driving?
Oh,
Was that a black Lincoln Continental he was driving in Culver City in the studios? Remember that? I think it was him and Joe Esposito. Right in the beginning, they're driving into the studio. Is it?
I think Scott Velvet has that car, owns it. Because I was thinking of buying it. You know, there's a lot of people out there who have Elvis cars, and you know, Elvis was famous for giving away cars.
Yes.
You know, he would give away Cadillacs and Lincolns. He switched over from Cadillac to Lincoln because the Cadillac dealer pissed him off one night because he called up the Cadillac dealer and he goes, I need some Cadillacs right now. And the guy says, Elvis, I'm in bed. You know, I'll do it Monday. Elvis hung up the phone, called the Lincoln dealer, says, I need to buy a dozen. How many Lincolns you got down there right now? And he goes, I got a dozen of them. He goes, I'll take them all right now, but I want them now. I go, Elvis, I'll meet you there. I'm getting dressed. I'll be down there in a few minutes. And he went and bought every single Lincoln on the lot just to piss off the Cadillac dealer because he wouldn't get out of bed to sell him a Cadillac in the middle of the night because he wanted to give it away to somebody.
No way! Wow,
Yeah.
What a fantastic story, man.
I would, when I finally made some money, I gave my mom a Cadillac for Christmas. You got to do it. You got to do it at least once in your life. You know, I brought her downstairs. I said, here, I need you to help me to do something. And we were having a Christmas party. And I gave her a Cadillac, and it was a great. I've given her a couple of them now. She's on her third one, I think now, and because now she's got that little SRX, the SUV looking one.
Yeah.
But the first one was like gold Cadillac with a gold interior, and something I learned from Elvis, and it was one of the things that I really loved about Vinnie Paul was he emulated Elvis in that kind of generosity. I mean, he didn't give away cars, but he just like Elvis had the Elvis Mafia, well, you had the Vinny Mafia. You know, it's like we had this group of friends and the food, the drinks, just the generosity. And I try to emulate that as much as I can. I try to throw parties, and I try to have that kind of generosity with all of my friends and spread it around, and have fun with them. And because when I throw these pretty hellacious parties here at my house, we'll have over 100 people over here. It's a big place. And I'll have a bartender, I'll have a chef. I mean, we'll go through $2,000 worth of booze, $1,000 worth of food. I'll have bands play, and like last big birthday party, I had a Kiss tribute band play. That's why I was hitting around with Eric. My friend Christopher Paul has a band, Rock and Roll Over.
Yeah,
and they're pretty good. I mean, they're really good. But
did he spit the fire, the Gene?
Not in the house, but they do that. Yes, they do that.
Did he do the blood? Did you let him do blood in the house or no?
Not in the house. He did. No, we're not doing the blood or the fire in the house. But matter of fact, it was kind of a low key show without the makeup in the house because we all know each other. But they play the largest venues in town. They play House of Blues and things like that, and they put on one heck of a show. But Eric really touched on something. It's really hard to find. You'd really have to go find all the Kiss tribute bands in the country and try to pick and choose the one best guy out of each one. Because trying to find somebody who can not only look, play, and sing like the person, that's what's really hard. Like there's another Judas Priest tribute band here in town, and they are fantastic. And their singer is an amazing singer. Just ask him; he'll tell you. He reminds you every time you see him. But the dude doesn't look anything like Rob Halford. He's like maybe he's an Italian dude or a Mexican dude. I'm not sure. But he's got like long black hair and a black beard. He doesn't look like Rob Halford, but he can sing. Whereas I can't sing as good as he can. But I don't look like Rob Halford, but I can kind of look like Rob Halford with being bald and putting on the outfit from here to over there up on the stage. I look like Rob Halford, and that's the hard part, trying to find the combination with a tribute act of somebody can look and sound like them. And I believe, and maybe you feel the same way, and I don't think Eric would ever let the cat out of the bag, but I think that what's going to happen as Gene and Paul get a little older, they're probably going to replace themselves, and Kiss will continue going on as Kiss with characters.
Almost like a Broadway show.
I think it'll happen. And whenever you run into somebody who gives you the bunk about, oh, I don't like Kiss anymore because it doesn't have Ace and Peter. You know, these new guys should have their own characters. And I said, you know, you just said something important, their character. This is musical theater. Okay.
Yeah.
So Eric's playing the role of the cat and Tommy's playing the role of the spaceman. Okay. And it's musical theater, you know, a little bit of suspension of disbelief here. And it doesn't matter necessarily who's up there. It's all about the fandom of what we're seeing. Yeah. Just like every time they make a new Batman or Spider-Man, they might have a Superman. They might have a different actor. But
I mean, think about the James Bond. Think about all the different Batmans. Think about your favorite baseball team or football team. You know, it's, you know, that's what really Kiss is, and it's about the memories. Look, 10 years old. Look, coffee and cocaine with Adika and Bob. That's oh man, I'm too neurotic for any cocaine, my friend. Trust me. But the coffee, sometimes I'm so crazy. I get so fired up on coffee. I think I'm at 911.
He's have King Diamond over for the next Christmas party. He could sing "No Present for Christmas." You know, Kim Peterson, King Diamond. He lives here in the Dallas area. Although I have met him, but not out of makeup. I've only met him before a show, but. People that I know all the time run into him all the time around here. He lives in this area. It's interesting.
King Diamond, huh? Wow.
Yeah, I met him. We were doing.
Did he get sued using, because it's kind of Peter Chris's makeup? No.
Oh yeah, I think it's a little bit more Gene's makeup. I think there was a little bit of a suit, but I think either he changed it or he lost it. I don't know. But then again, Gene tried to trademark this. I mean, come on. I love Gene to death, but come on.
He got air. He trademarked air. You know, if you're breathing air, you know, it's Gene's world and we live in it. Remember that. You know.
All right, I don't want to do like we did last night and go 5 hours.
No.
I've been on here 2 hours. I just wanted to test it out.
It's really good. You
perfect
did good.
person to test it out.
Yeah, no, this is good. I appreciate it. Yeah, I got to do a time clock on my show and then end it because you know what? It was a great one. But the fans. Here's the thing. When I see the fans having a good time, even though I could be falling asleep, I appreciate everybody hanging out with me and watching the show. And, God, they're the best. They're the best. And you know what? It was a special night last night. And you came on. Eric was there. Slaughter, Oive. It was fun. You know, Robert, Tony Montana's caddy.
Here we go.
Robert, hold on. Robert, just down there. I had Bob on my show. He showed me that, the Scarface car.
I have that car.
Today, I was talking about it to my neighbor. I go, I had this guy on the show. You got to check him out. And the chainsaw, the guy, it's great, man. I love that car, man. That's
this is one of the things I need to learn, and I think I know how you do it. How is it that you're pulling up videos and pictures and things like that?
Ancient Chinese secret, my friend. No, no, you got to go into your banner and then you click it and how am I adding it in there? You mean the video?
Yeah, like you were playing one of my YouTube videos and things. Do you have to just make a whole?
I wonder if I could do that right now.
Because I was asking.
I think I could do this with you. Ooh. Hold on. I wonder if I could do this. Hold on.
Now, this person wants to know, does Coffee Talk have a YouTube channel? Of course they do.
Yes. Coffee Talk does have a...
Have your assistant put that up, and let me put it up for you.
If she's there, it's Coffee Talk on YouTube, Coffee Talk with Adika Live.
There's his name right there.
And that's my name. And we're Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. Saturday, it's Talking Wax. And just hit the reminder. It's a lot of fun. Okay, tomorrow we'll have Derek Sherinian, but there's not only that. We talk about everything. We make fun of ourselves.
You never know what's going to happen.
You don't know what's going to happen. I have people dropping in all the time. But I'm going to put it out there. I have like some psychic I'm looking for people. I want characters. I want these YouTube vloggers that are recreating television because now I'm not watching cable anymore. I'm watching YouTube.
I don't watch anything but YouTube nowadays.
This is my TV. I swear to God, I'll fall asleep like this watching. And once you're in YouTube, you start drifting. It's great. And you got to come back on the show. You got to come back. I am. Because there's a lot to talk about with you, my friend. There's a lot. And you could share the screen. If you go on the bottom. Okay. So what you do, if you want to share a screen like I did you, let me see if I can do this. You go to new window.
This guy's like time and temp. Coming up on 11:20 Central. It's about 87 degrees here in Dallas, Fort Worth.
That's right.
Looking for clear skies tomorrow.
Okay, let me see if I could do this on your channel. I don't know if I could. If I could do this, it'll be crazy.
Well, I think I know how you do it. Like you share the link to like a open up another window, and then
look. Did I do it?
Yeah, you did. Look at that.
Okay, now click on that. That's Coffee Talk with Adika, everybody. Now watch this. You want to see what Coffee Talk? That's my page, and this is my show. Watch this.
Let's see.
There's a commercial. Hold on. Watch this. Get rid of that commercial. Skip this ad. Here we go. Wow.
You know,
so
I pick on you guys a lot.
That's the show.
So basically, let me go back to this. So basically, what you're doing there is
or the highway. I'm bigger than Ryan Roxy. Remember that.
I see. There we go. We do it
Not
like
only
that.
am I bigger, I got more hair than him. Right there, Oy vey. He's a fanatic Kiss fan. He's a man, 52 years old. He has everything from Kiss, from their boots to their under. He's 50.
Right.
So you're just basically playing a YouTube video as your intro.
He's the Italian man in Burbank. He used to be a co-host.
This is just a commercial, a trailer
He's
about
very
my
sensitive,
show.
so maybe you can help him on that issue.
I got the guy from Baby Come Back player.
Mood
It's
swings.
just all
He's
short
emotional.
trailer.
The gentle giant's lovely soul.
I know who you are.
Tell him about that you played in Warren. Tell him the story.
Fuck.
Tell him the story, Mike. Go ahead.
I was the seventh. I was the
Jeff
seventh,
Perry.
ninth. I was the seventh, ninth, and 11th drummer of
I
Warren.
got a hidden gem.
Jeff, I'm trying to get you on.
Shut up. He'll talk about his Tiger Army crap. This is a guy, a real singer.
I played a band called Tiger Army. Which
Show the
you-
record. Show. Jeff cares. Show him the record.
Give a
You don't
shit.
give a crap about your bed. You know what, Mike? My show, and get the hell out of here. This is what I can do. Look, there it is. I don't. I'll get to you in 1 second. Let me finish off with Mike. No.
See, I like how what you were doing last night, like you're putting up the gifs and all that kind of
You could
stuff.
put, yeah, you could put the gifts and all that stuff. And then I got Corey.
Peter,
That's the guy from.
dude. So
He's still not a journalist. Let me tell you something. I want to hear it. Corey Leviton.
This
used
is
to
the
have a
whole
career at
nonsense
Circus
of the
Magazine.
show.
People
But-
used to line.
But that's the
up
show,
to
everybody. I
that.
could take it
Now
out.
look at
Oh,
that.
you got to take it
You
out.
want
I
to go?
can't.
You want to go to a bullshit show? Go talk to this.
So yeah, we'll go back. We'll go back to this.
I know.
Yeah.
I like this, and then I can just mute that out.
You could
Okay,
you
or
take
you
you
could
remove it
kill it.
out. So
Okay.
that's how you do it. That's how you do the show. You just share the screen, but remember, if you're going to share it, you have to press the audio. But I'm going to tell you this right now: you cannot play music on here because
No, I know. Yeah.
you will get.
I mean,
copyright.
well, the fact you have a song. I wouldn't even have a song. This is why I only have this thing that this does the zap.
It was written. My friend wrote that for me for the show.
But here's the crazy thing about it, though. I have heard, like, unless you go through the process of trademarking and copyrighting that song and submitting it to them, and all the copyright stuff you have to do, someone else out there could take your audio and claim it as their own, and then have it taken off of your show. I've seen it happen to people because they didn't go through the process of copyrighting and trademarking it. So make sure you've done that if you haven't already. And it's so I just make a flat no music policy on all my videos. I don't even use the free background music that comes with YouTube. I'll tell you why. Because as a video producer for many years, I owned huge libraries of licensed music that I bought on CD back, in the 90s and for years. And I went to use some of that music on my YouTube videos, and the license didn't transfer to like YouTube. Like that video would be demonetized or monetized deferred to the copyright owner. I go, hey, I own this music. There, you don't own shit. We own it. And so the problem is people out there, for instance, let's say an artist says, I'm going to let you use my song. But then later on, the ownership transfers.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, I know somebody had a huge YouTube channel, hired an artist to do the music for them. And then later, somehow that music got transferred and every single one of their videos became demonetized. So just for me personally, I just make it a no music policy.
Yeah, it's definitely a problem, and yeah, that's a big no-no. But you know what, YouTube is strange, but man, it is fun to do. Hey, I'm just learning. I'm learning every day.
But that's great, because I was thinking about putting together something. What I put at the beginning end of every one of my videos is this thing. I showed you this.
Yeah.
I want my intro and outro to be as quick as possible. When people ask me about tips for doing YouTube, when I watch other people, they try to do it in the television format, which I come from a background of television. And I try to tell people, go, listen, we all know who you are. We don't need a 30-second intro or whatever, like a television format, like you grew up with watching sitcoms back in the 80s and things. Because you would have a little bit piece of the show, then you'd have the intro, then it would cut to commercial. But on these formats, we're not doing commercials. Now, with YouTube on playback, they might be cutting into the show and putting commercials in. YouTube is going to have banner ads and all the things that they're going to do for monetization. And maybe in the future, as the show gets bigger, we may even be able to transition and cut to a commercial.
Yeah. Well, Well, I'll do sponsored ads on mine. And the reason why I have an intro, I'm going to be completely honest. I roll out of bed, I put a headband on, and I'm half asleep. It's because I start at 8 a.m. So I'm like, ugh.
That's your first mistake.
So I do the intro to test my mic. So while the intro is going, I'm like, check 1 2 1 2, and it's playing. And then I'm like, okay, drink my coffee. And it wakes me up. I'm like, okay, hi, I'm here. So
I thought about making an intro, but it's like I said, I don't want to use any kind of music. That's why I just use the sound, that lightning sound effect, which I put together as from some sound effects that I had. And I don't know, maybe I'll make a.
But it psychs you up, Bob. It psychs you up a little bit. It's like, you wanted the best, you got it. Everybody knows it's Kiss, but it's just it's Elvis had 2001 Space Odyssey. It psychs me up a little bit. But you're right.
But you're doing like a morning show. I'm not going to do a morning thing. I get up at the crack of noon. My guys are already at work at my shop. We don't open until 10 a.m. at the shop, and my guys are there.
Dude, the work I put on Coffee Talk, it is full time. Because I answer every letter, every email. I don't have a big following; it's growing. But man, I answer it, and the prepping and making the phone calls, getting a guest on, it is 24/7. Keeping up with it, I want to bond with the people, and I want them to feel it's their show. It's hard work.
This guy goes, if your song sucks, you don't have to copyright it.
If your song sucks. And my song sucks, so I don't. That's why whoever wants to steal that song, take it. I'll get another one. Take it if you like it. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and YouTube is owned by Google. Yeah,
that's true.
That's it.
The thing is the copyright strikes are the issue, because this isn't my first YouTube channel. Even though I started this one in 2007, I had another one before that, and I lost it due to copyright strikes. And I almost lost this one due to some copyright strikes. And some of the copyright strikes were of my own shit. But the difference is, here's a perfect example of it, right? I had produced these music videos and things for Vinnie Paul, and so I put the music video that I shot and edited on my channel, but Sony Music ended up owning, and then they put it. So Sony Music sent me a copyright claim. I go, assholes, I'm the guy that made the video. They go, we don't care you made the video. We own it, right? It doesn't matter that it's yours. It's ours.
Yeah.
And I had to take my own video off my own channel because Sony Music, our parent company, owned the music to the video. And I got a copyright strike. So I had to, I've done over 350 music videos, and I don't have any of them on my channel, because I don't own the music to them. I cannot show people my television show. I can't show any of my music videos. I can't show most of any of my commercials, because even those commercials have, music beds in them that are copyrighted. So I've done hundreds of television commercials for television, music videos for MTV, all these cool things. I can't show any of that stuff on my YouTube.
Dude, talking about showing stuff, the other thing I do, have a Patreon account. So when I put a link to bring my fans on, because I'll bring my fans on, but I know who they are. They're in my Patreons, and I only send a link to those people, because what I used to do, I only started my YouTube channel maybe 12, 13 weeks ago, something like that. And when I put it in the public, and one day this guy came on my YouTube show, and he pulled out his schlong on my show, and all of a sudden going pop, 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 pop. Swear to you, his name was I forgot his name right now, but it was pop, 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 Vernon. His name was Vernon, and he looked like Pete Best, and he had like a bi-level haircut like Pete Best, and he stood up there. Well, I just wanted to show you this, and he stood up. I'm like, And I'm like this. So there's a girl on there like this. And I'm like the guitar player from Alice Cooper. He's like this, closing his eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm like this because I can't see him squinting.
Yeah, they don't have like a delay function or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
So I shut the whole thing down. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'll never put a link out because, hey, you watch out.
Well,
for
I thought about doing that here. I was going to put out like the link and say, hey, let's have some people on.
Be careful. Be careful.
Yeah.
You got to be Vernon. That's who it was. That's right. It was Vernon. And the song that my wife's going. The song is Great Coffee Talk. My buddy who plays in the band called River Dogs with Vivian Campbell, who's in Def Leppard, Mark Denzizen. He wrote the song. He's a talented guy, so he has that thing all protected that nobody's gonna. He's been around the business forever, but he has a band called the River Dogs with Vivian Campbell. He wrote that song. It's him playing all the instruments, everything.
No, it's awesome.
Really great guy, and he did it for me because he likes the show. So thank you, Mark Denzizen. Give him a plug out there. But I'll let you go. You know, you're great. Everybody, thank you for joining.
Bed.
Yeah, I'm tired. We did a Jerry
We're
Lewis
roasted
telethon.
from yesterday. Yeah, we did 6 hours.
You got to come on next Saturday.
I'll see if I can. I'll have to.
You'll get divorced. You with that guy, that schmuck again?
No, I had a great time, but I didn't really understand the format necessarily.
There's no format.
Well, like I went and picked out some records I wanted to talk about, but I think the better format is flexing the cool stories with the autographed records. I mean, you haven't seen my collection of stuff. I have. You walk through my house, it's better than any like Hard Rock Cafe you've ever been in. Because I was an opportunist. When I toured with Vinnie Paul, with Hell Yeah, we did Ozfest, we did Family Values with Korn. When I knew I was going to be around somebody, and I got in trouble for this all the time, I would go down to the local guitar center and I would buy the signature guitar of whatever artist. So Vinnie would call me up and go, hey man, Slayer and Anthrax are coming over to the house, so we're going to jam in the kitchen. He'd say, Kerry King's coming over with Scotty in. And bring your camera, and I want you to record it because it's going to be awesome. And I would show up over there, and there's Kerry King from Slayer and Scott Ian from Anthrax and, Chad Gray, a singer from Mudvayne who became a singer of Hell Yeah. And, he was just trying out some stuff, goofing around in the kitchen. And this was a few days before the Ozfest show that we did here in 2008. And I never knew if I was going to be around whatever star. So there was a Guitar Center just a block away from Vinny's, and I had access to the Pantera account. I would just go in there and say, I need a, red and black Warlock, Kerry King Warlock. I need this line guitar. And I would bring it in and I would get them to sign it. So I have all these signature guitars I have over 30 something guitars that are signed by everybody you could think of. And the greatest stories about those, and albums and records and memorabilia. Because what I think is cool about my collection is, a lot of autograph seekers, they'll show up with some random off-the-shelf shit like a record album, or maybe they'll take a $99 Fender guitar and get the pickguard signed. Who cares? But when you have the signature, like, for instance, the Bullseye guitar, like Zakk Wylde plays, well, I have that signed by him and Ozzy at Ozfest, And so when you see a signature guitar like Ace Frehley's three pickup Epiphone,
huge.
Those are what's really cool.
Yeah,
and when people come over and they walk around and they see all these gold records, and most of the gold records are in my name. They were given to me. I have Billboard awards and things, but some of them are ones that I bought just as fans. And even sometimes I go into my trophy room and I just go in there and I just look around and go, wow. And it's just like what you see in the background of Mark Slaughter's place. Every rock star has this stuff.
Everybody, I was throwing away all my stuff. My wife got mad at me. She goes, "What? I don't want clutter. I'm out of my mind."
Yeah, no, don't throw it away.
It gets cluttered.
I mean, and I have so many other cool things that.
Wait, I want to ask you, what's that Kiss record behind your head? Which one is that one?
That one, I'll admit, those are the ones that they sell on their store. You can order those from Kiss online. I think they're about $300.
Okay.
And that one is. Hell, I can't read it from here. But you can order it with your name on it, and those are just put up for decorations.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've got so many of them. I ran out of room for them. I have another 5 or 6 of them over there. I mean, they literally offer them for every record they have. So all the ones that you see, Oive has, I don't know if he has any records issued to him, but I think those are all store bought. You can buy those with your name on them, which takes away some of the legitimacy of some of the, when you see people with gold records, because you expect them. But all the ones that I have that are all Pantera, whatever. Those were all issued to me with my name on them for projects I did for Big Ben Records or Dime Vision. I got some Billboard awards. I got like right behind me over here, if I can reach it. It's off the camera. Put my damn shorts. There we go.
Oh, that's awesome. The MTV award. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. That's legendary. Yeah. That's
Normally I keep it over there, but I wanted to try.
Is that heavy? That's heavy, right?
It weighs probably about 5 pounds.
Yeah.
It's solid metal. Yeah. And this was the pass from the palms. Where'd it go?
You got to be careful with that, with the flag, right? The flag. It's like a little fragile.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was just nothing more exciting to me in the world. I've done so much really awesome shit, but turning on Headbangers Ball, seeing my video being played, director, Robert Mosley. Even now, I think about it. Just that was being Videobob, being a video music producer. I told Vinny, I said, my dream is to one day have a video on MTV, and he goes, well, it's going to happen. We're doing it. Be here Saturday. We got to start shooting, and that video for Rebel Meets Rebel, it's funny. We shot that in his kitchen. We just put up a big black backdrop and we shot that stuff up in his jam room. And then the stuff with David Allan Coe, if you go watch the video, that's a point of controversy we were talking about, because the Rebel Meets Rebel album with David Allan Coe, well, the whole cover is a rebel flag. And now with all this anti-rebel flag, anti-racism thing, there's a whole movement now of people that are, anti-Pantera, because Dimebag, he had these guitars with rebel flags on them, Dean guitars, Washburn guitars with rebel flags on them. There was so much Pantera stuff with rebel flags, and don't want to get into that subject, but it wasn't about racism. It was really a different thing, sort of like the General Lee car on the Dukes of Hazzard. Nobody was thinking about racism, but that's what it seems to me now. And I'm in the middle of this because I made that album record. And so I have this rebel flag stuff all over the house because people see the gold record for Rebel Meets Rebel and they're like, it's a big rebel flag, and I have to answer to that now. And so it is a bit of a contention. I'm like, do I take this gold record, put it in the closet? What do I do?
What about you just mentioned the General Lee. What about building that car or having that on display somewhere because of that rebel flag? Huh?
Yeah, I wouldn't go near that car now, because like I said, just being associated with like David Allan Coe, the country singer in the 60s, he sang some racist songs.
Yeah.
And that was a long time ago, and it was a novelty. And he told me, he goes, it was a different time. People you'd watch movies. You go watch Blazing Saddles now. You could never play a movie like that now. But 1974, they were saying the N-word. He goes, it was comedy. It was funny. At that time it was acceptable, but not now. And so with all the situations that are happening now, people have these long memories. They're reaching back. And even 15 years ago when we did that record, Rebel Meets Rebel, there was a little bit of controversy around the rebel flag, because I remember I had to make a separate version for Walmart, and they just asked me to darken the cover. So I made for the Walmart amended version, we darkened the cover so it wasn't as vibrant red. But 15 years later, so much has changed in the world.
So much has changed. It's like another world. We're
another
living
world,
in a twilight zone. Sometimes I think, is this we're gonna wake up? It's gonna change. It's gonna be back to normal. It's a different world. Videobob deserves a gold star on the Walk of Fame.
I do. They charge you for that. They charge you $10,000 for that thing.
Do they really?
Yeah, they invite you, and then you accept, and then you pay them, and then they put it in there. Yeah. So I don't think I'd spend $10,000 for it. Somebody would go pee on it.
No, even half the things I want to say and joke about, you got to be very careful. Even
Absolutely.
When I bust chops because the East Coast thing. When you bust chops, it means you love somebody. Like I'll call Corey on the show. Yeah, you idiot, whatever. But it's like, it's busting chops. East Coast. It means you. but now that could be taken the wrong way.
Well, even a lot of the things like something you say all the time, the Hakame China, like that's probably something you may have to drop,
Well, it's really Hakame Chinik.
Hakame Chinik, okay.
It's Hakame. Now, I was saying Hakame Chinik because I always said it wrong, but it's Hakame Chinik. It's
okay.
Yiddish.
So what does that translate to?
It's Yiddish. It's a Yiddish word, Hakame Chinik.
Yeah.
Stop busting my ball. It means like
okay.
It's like a Yiddish slang, But
well, for instance, I was watching a YouTube channel for a guy that I know and like, and he's in like South Carolina, and my little screensaver came on, and now you may have heard this term before, and I've heard this in the South. He was talking about negotiating the price of a car, and he said the guy tried to Jew me down. And
I say it all,
yeah, and I was like, I know him. I was gonna text him and go, dude, you can't say that anymore.
What about if you're Jewish?
If you're
I was bar mitzvah in Israel. I could.
Yeah, but the thing is black guys can say the N word and Jewish guys can say Jew me down, But if you're a white Southern guy who looks like he's in the Klan, you probably shouldn't be saying Jew me down. And so I was like, wow, I have heard that. So because it's commenting on a stereotype to say these people are stingy and they're
about the Jews.
Yeah.
He's right. I'm stingy. I'm stingy. I got to be stingy.
It's a good trait.
Come on. God took my hair. I want my money.
Maybe.
That's it. You gotta. You know what? That's why Coffee Talk. If you're going in there, it's going to be Boba. I had some people turn on me and they're like, "Oh my God, Steph," and I'm like, "Then go." I go watch somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Go watch Videobob, but you'll come back. Go watch Joe Rogan, but you'll come back. You'll still come back, and you won't let me know, but I know you're watching.
I've had to adjust myself a lot because, for instance, this last year, things have gotten so political, and I decided to make a no politics policy like on my Facebook because I kept getting tied up into it. I kept jumping into it. I mean, this was our complaint with like Melrose, other than him being just generally crazy. But there's a fine line between enjoying your craziness, and then it starts to get nasty, and you're not going to find people that are going to agree on anything. You know what I mean?
No, it's so crazy. Back in the day, you were able to say, well, I like Carter, I like Nixon, I like Reagan, but now you can't say anything. Yeah,
I mean, if anybody says they support a Republican, well, now they're a racist, and they're like I'm more conservative. My wife is more liberal, and we have we have gay people in our family. We have trans people in our family. We have a lot of different diversity in our family.
It's weird. Look at Tyler. God took my hair. I want my money. Look, that's what it's about. That's what my show's about. I like making people laugh, and if I could do that.
Tyler! I got to get Tyler on. Tyler is a close friend of mine, who is a Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox impersonator. This guy.
Oh my God! Really?
And sounds exactly like him. And
we gotta. He asked to come on my show, Tyler. Yes, come. I'll get you
really?
For coffee.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna real quick. Let me see. Where's my here, Tyler? I'm gonna send you a link real quick. And you gotta see Tyler for a second. Give me just a second.
Like over here, look, we're all humans being humans. Right over here. Is it so Green Knight wrote that? And you can't even use that word anymore. It's like you really got to be so careful. Because I told Corey one time, I'm like, Corey, I said to him, I go, you don't act human. You don't know how to interview a person, and that could be taken the wrong way. We live in a crazy world.
So Tyler, go check your Facebook Messenger. I sent you a link to the show. Just follow the instructions. If you're dressed and everything, if you want, come on for just 2 seconds. I want you to meet Adika. Now, have you gotten onto the TikTok craze yet?
I tried. I'm too old for it. I just don't understand it. I can't figure it out, but it's a little creepy. Here's the problem. I'll do it with my wife. We sit in the house together. But here I'm a 53-year-old guy, and then I'm watching one thing. Then it turns into me watching like some 18-year-old, 16-year-old girl doing some dance moves. And I feel now that I have a daughter who's going to be 5, I feel like Uncle Creepy. I don't feel right about it.
We were talking about this recently because when I
film.
we toured, right? You know, we've been around the world. Okay, we've done things that we don't. I don't have a daughter. I didn't have any kids. But if I had a teenage daughter, I would not let her go to a rock and roll show by herself with her friends.
Oh.
Because let me tell you, I'm a little ashamed of some of the things that might have happened on tour 15 years ago.
Yeah. I would
But
no tattoos, no nose ring. You know.
No, I didn't do any of that.
But he has tattoos. Let me ponder this. A guy with a tattoo? No way. You look at, but no. Oh my goodness, I can't even think about it. Here's a funny thing with my daughter. I stopped the Propecia. My wife got pregnant. I had her name tattooed on my chest before she was born, Brooklyn. So I put it in the universe. You know, I love my little girl. She drives me crazy, but I love her. But I just feel I do, you know, I do it with my wife. No, we'll watch it. We were doing it together because I thought it was a good way to market, but I don't even know what I'm doing with marketing.
Well, you know, you got to be, if you're going to be in this space, you kind of need to own real estate in every platform, even if you're not doing anything with it, especially as you're building a brand, you know. And, you know, I had a huge TikTok and then it just disappeared. And I had to make a new one. And only a few days I've gotten like, I think I've got about.
What do you mean disappeared?
I don't know what happened. Oh, let me turn it down. I don't know what happened. You forgot your pass? It just the account was just gone. I don't know if it got hacked, but so I had to make a new one. But only in a few days, I've got 4,000 followers and 25,000 likes. So it's growing pretty quickly. And I post stuff about like cooking, and I posted a video of me and Tyler. So Tyler's there if he's got his.
But people, you know, it's funny with YouTube and TikTok. People like the craziest stuff. I could put all my planning into a show, right? And I could get maybe a couple of viewers, but I could put a show about nothing. It's me walking down the street. I'll get tons of. I don't get it. I don't understand. People, I like look Google man walking down alley. Like I gotta see. You know, it's like, you know, I don't get it. It's
Tyler's almost ready. He's probably gonna go to the other room because his wife's asleep. That's what it is.
Jessica, I don't think you should be ashamed. Oh no, I'm not ashamed of the past, but you know, just the stories. You know, it's just
now Jessica. So she's somebody who's followed me on like Periscope and YouTube, all over the place. So she's up in Nebraska. She's followed me for a long time. So
very cool.
I think that's where she is. Yeah. And let's see. Sovereign Knight says you're a celebrity.
Yeah.
I'm stalling for Tyler to get his stuff. He's probably going to put on his Monty McFly outfit.
That's okay. John says, Adika, I feel you about age. I'm 48. Yeah, John, you know, trust me. I even feel my wife I'm on the Peloton machine doing cardio, and then the one guy, my wife's watching me. Why are you smiling at the guy? Because it's this guy, and I think he makes me smile, makes me happy. And he's like the Rip Taylor. What's that? Rip Torn? The guy who threw glitter at you reminds me of. He's very festive.
Yes, Rip Taylor.
Rip Taylor. He reminds me of him. That's what this guy reminds me of. And I go, for some reason, I love him. He just makes me happy. And he's like, you know, shake your titties. He's saying, and I think he's hysterical, the guy. And he's festive. So today,
Mickey's in Nebraska. He needs to hook up with Jessica Thunderheart. She's been a fan of mine for a long time, and she's made no bones about it. She's like, you got to come visit me. And I'm like, I have no reason to go to Nebraska.
Bill K goes, hey, I did my workout today and had 56 views while I was doing it, but I had to shut it down because YouTube, I didn't realize the music they played, the copyright stripes. So I had
so
I had to take it off. I took it off. Sorry, everybody.
Any new guitar picks you're giving away? I give away a guitar pick when people meet me. So I found these the other day. I think I told this story before. You know, I told the story on your show, talking about the pick guy, when I met Eric Singer and he gave me a guitar pick. And I said, well, you're a drummer. Why do you give away picks? He goes, well, I can't give away drumsticks. And so we had these made. These are Big Ben record picks from it's a little bright. Let me get this light out of there if you could see it. There we go. That's better. Yeah. Let's say, and they literally have MySpace written on them. That's how old they are. They're for 15 years. Hey, Tyler, you don't have to put on your whole outfit.
I know,
Just
Tyler. Tyler, I have to get going anyway because I'm
Yeah, you have to
tired.
get going.
You know, hey, but I get to my Patreons, my guitar picks when I played with Dee Dee Ramone, and that's what I have a bag of those, and then I'll make new ones when I run out of those. But that's what I'm giving out to my people. I have my Dee Dee Ramone art back there.
Hey, Tyler, just jump on. You don't gotta put on the vest or anything. Just
I miss
the dude
Rick
just
Taylor.
looks like Michael J. Fox, and he sounds like him too. And which I'm not going to say is unfortunate because he's managed to make it work for him. But he's a great actor and comedian, and so he's kind of typecast because people see him and they go, "Well, shit, it's Michael J. Fox."
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
You know. And we did a TikTok video, and it went viral. It got 100,000.
Really?
I had videos on my other TikTok that had millions of views. But the thing is TikTok is not monetized. However, it helps build the brand. If somebody is familiar with you on TikTok and then they come across you on another platform like Facebook or on YouTube, they instantly already know who you are, or they have some face recognition or name recognition. And it also has the ability to link where they can maybe they're watching you on TikTok and then they go over and watch your show. So what you could do is post little clips of your show as TikToks, and people will watch 60-second clips. Yeah. So you can only post up to 60 seconds. But what you could do is post little 60-second clips of stuff that's good and then have a link on there that says, want to see the whole show? Click here. And then they can go to your YouTube. So that's what's good about it for us as YouTubers. And you want to have some real estate in every single platform, no matter what it is, with Snapchat, whatever it is. You need to go make an account and kind of squat it.
No, my account's gone. I think my account's gone. My TikTok. You happen open up TikTok. I think it's gone.
It could be.
Yeah. So if you don't use TikTok, do they take it away from you?
I don't know what happened to mine, and I don't know why mine disappeared. I have no idea.
Mine disappeared too. I had it, but maybe I'm still trying to figure out Twitter. The problem is I can't see my phone, so I'm going.
Yeah, I don't really do Twitter either, and it's like I do Facebook, and younger people are like, Facebook's for the old boomers, and I'm like, okay, well maybe it is.
That's why I went to YouTube. Because the Facebook I'm kind of weeding Facebook off.
Here comes Tyler. You ready? You ready, Tyler?
Let's see. Let's meet Tyler.
Okay. I could. Here we go. I'm gonna add him in. There he is.
Hey, Tyler. How you doing?
It's Seamus McFly.
No, the name is Clint Eastwood.
Oh, okay. So this is Tyler Donovan. He's in Arkansas, and yeah. Okay. And I've known him for many, many years because, I go around with the DeLorean time machine doing these events, and we've done a lot of events together. And he works like the Comic-Con circuit and does corporate videos.
Not so much cons, more like private events and corporate events. And because I've done some cons, and I kind of got out of the con circuit because they don't pay much. But
yeah, that's true. The cons were great though. You were doing the hoverboard pictures; those were fantastic.
Yeah. Cons are a lot of fun. Cons are a lot of hard work. And gratifying, but hard work, and they don't pay as well.
Now, who dressed you in those silly clothes?
You did, Doc.
So show off for Adika in the audience, and maybe do a couple lines, familiar lines that people will remember from the movie.
This is heavy duty, Doc. This is heavy. Get out of town. You telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean, Bob?
Is your girl asleep? Are you trying to be quiet?
Yeah, I kind of threw that out the window. I'll get in trouble tomorrow, but we'll deal with it. So
that's right. I don't want to get you in trouble. I just want to bring you on for a minute.
So our local theater. So my hobby has been especially to catch Adika up. My wife is from England, and we've been married for over 4 years, and she's only been living here for the last year and a half. And so I've been living single but married with an overseas marriage for like years. And so my hobby has been going to the movies, going to the movie theater. Mm-hmm. Because I love the movie theater experience. I love the smell, I love the popcorn, I love the big screen, love the sound, I just love going to the movie theater.
Yeah.
And they've been closed. They've been closed for so long.
Yeah.
And our local theater just opened back up, and they were playing Back to the Future 3. So for the first time, and not even COVID. COVID has been the least of our worries. We were getting harassed by racist neighbors. My wife was the only person of color living in the building, and I know you guys were talking about the rebel flag, and I don't want to get into that controversy, but we were being harassed by neighbors, and for the last month has been the most uncomfortable month of my life. Anyway, so we moved because just to get away from those people. The guy was. It's not just about the rebel flag. The guy was carrying a gun.
I want him to be on the
saying
main.
racist shit, talking shit. He's a drug dealer. Anyway, we were being harassed by a gun-toting, drug-dealing, racist-ass neighbor, and we got out of there. We moved apartments.
It's Arkansas.
We've been moving, and finally, like tonight was the first night that we did anything for fun. We went out. The local theater opened back up this weekend, and we saw that they were playing Back to the Future 3, so we put on the costumes.
Oh,
we
really?
Put on our costumes.
You had it all ready to go.
Yeah, she does Jennifer Parker.
Yeah.
So wait a second. Did you just move? Did you?
Yeah, we moved across town.
How long ago? How long are you living in this place now?
Been 1 week.
Oh, 1 week.
Today. Been 1 week today. Still
You
getting
should only be
unpacked.
telling this story as Michael, though.
We've been living here about a week. It's been kind of hard, but we're getting by.
Marty, are you telling me you moved next door to a racist?
No, not Doc. I'm telling you, we moved away from the racists.
Oh, that's crazy. All right.
That's
Well,
great.
I don't want you to wake up Camilla. You're gonna get her in trouble. I just wanted you to come on for a minute. We're gonna have a day where we'll have you on and we'll spend some time.
I'd like to hear more of
we're
you.
about to wrap it up. Yeah.
I want to bring you on my show. I'm interested about your story and all the move and
Sorry,
everything.
I know the lighting is really bad.
No, your lighting is good. Your story is pretty interesting. I'd like to
going
hear more
handheld
about it.
here.
Tyler,
Nah, you're fine.
Tyler, you do me a favor. DM me and then give me your DM me your information. I'd like to know more about you. Interesting
right.
story. Yeah, and you do a great Marty.
Check out Tyler
Get out
Donovan
of
on
town.
Facebook and stuff. You were doing you were doing some YouTube. You were doing a comedy show or something a while back. Last time I went and hang out with you. What? Remember you were doing it was like a newscaster thing. What was that thing you were doing?
God, that was like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I've known you a long time.
So so to make it quick, about 4 or 5 years ago, I was in a movie and I co-directed it. And it was produced by a buddy of mine about
This is a great comment. Was your neighbor named Biff?
Industry.
Yeah.
About the local news industry and how all these reporters that you see on the news, these anchors, seem really wholesome and shit. But this guy that wrote the movie was like, he worked in the local news industry, and he was like, no, they're assholes. They're drug dealers. Some of these people that you think are so wholesome are horrible people. And that's what the movie was about. And this guy wrote the script, and it was a great screenplay. And some of the local actors that were in it were like, oh, we don't like all the F-bombs. We don't like all the blah, blah, blah. We don't like, And so it got so watered down and edited, and it wasn't what it was supposed to be. So then I got with this guy that produced the movie, and we were like, hey, let's just do this YouTube thing to make it real. And that ended up being, we called the show Headline Hell with Hugh Didwell. Hugh Didwell is the anchor, the character that I played, and we got to do all the jokes that we wanted to do in the movie that we couldn't because all these fucking actors were like, nah.
I'm trying to figure out how to make him the bigger picture.
No, you can't. It's going to go back to you. I like Jessica. She writes, well, with how Tyler's dressed tonight, he looks like the country western version of Paul McCartney. That's great.
Yeah, if you could learn a Liverpool accent, you could work into a Paul McCartney. Like, oh, yeah, we're bigger than the Beatles. We're bigger than Jesus. Yeah.
The older I get, the more I hear Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
That I could pull off Paul McCartney.
So as Michael J. Fox thing wears out, you can, start learning a Liverpool accent. You've got a British school.
Let me tell you guys something. Beatlemania, Winter Garden Theater, New York City. One of the first Broadway shows I'd seen. Mitch Weissman was the face of Beatlemania. He played Paul McCartney. So I had the guys on my show. And it was a huge Beatlemania, the movie. And they did it when Lennon was alive still. I'm a big Beatle fan. But he was on Joni LaChachi, he played McCartney. Little TV trivia. I'm a lot older than you, Video Bob, so you would. Yeah,
we're a couple of youngsters.
Back in my day, I had Happy Days.
Yeah. Well, we watched that, in the middle of the day when it was a rerun.
I remember when it came out. That's how. Man, I was around when George Washington was.
Before you knew who Mr. Miyagi was.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So,
all right.
What are you drinking over there? Are you over there doing energy drinks, vaping, up all night, doing 8 balls? What's going on over there?
No, it's a Keystone, Keystone Ice.
You've been in Arkansas too long, man. You got some shitty beer.
How is Arkansas? How is it over? How's its weather out there?
You can't wrap up the entire state into one bag, really. I live in Northwest Arkansas, where the University of Arkansas is.
Is it hot right now? Or?
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. It's humid. Yeah,
it's humid out there.
Yeah, humid as hell.
Really?
You sweat just when you go outside. You just sweat.
How about the food? Can you get a good bagel out there in Arkansas?
No, not at all.
No, is it a variety?
We don't have a lot of Jewish people in Arkansas. You can get a bagel, but
Well, yeah, it's like frozen.
I wouldn't know. I've only been to New York once, and it was upstate New York, so that's like the Arkansas version of New York. So
where are you from originally, Tyler?
Arkansas.
Oh, so you started off there. I didn't know you started. You've been there that long.
So what's Arkansas known for? Something famous, like a
Walmart. Walmart and the Clintons.
Arkansas, Walmart was the first Walmart in Arkansas.
Well, Bentonville is located. Yeah, that's where their headquarters is. And I've been there many times because the Walmart will rent both the DeLorean time machine and the Ghostbuster car from me for their corporate events.
Really, I didn't know that was the first. Very interesting, huh?
That's where the original Sam's 5 and Dime is. They have the original store still there. We made a great video on YouTube, me and Tyler, of us goofing around, and
we got pulled over.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. We got pulled over by the cops. Imagine cops pull over a DeLorean time machine and out jumps Marty McFly in his costume.
Come
and he's
on.
like,
really?
He's like,
I didn't jump out. I handed you my Marty McFly license to hand to the cops.
That's right, yeah.
And
it would have been so much better if you'd have taken off running and they tackled you and
Oh my goodness.
arrested you.
Yes, because I really want to get tackled by cops.
You really were in costume with a?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's great. That's great.
No, but Adika, the thing is, we were joking. This is so ironic. It's not. Is it ironic or coincidental? We were joking about it. We were talking about.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey Bob, what would it be like if I was riding in the fucking DeLorean time machine and we got pulled over by cops and I gave them my Marty McFly license?" And then it happened.
It happened like 30 seconds later. Lights started flashing, and we're like, "Holy shit, we're not wearing seatbelts or anything."
I said, "Oh shit, Bob, we're getting pulled over for real. It's really happening." We were just talking about.
You can find that on my channel. Yeah, it was hilarious. All right, hey Tyler, let me let you off of here, and we'll connect on here again, and we'll set up a time. We'll do a Back to the Future day. Yeah. So I'll hit up with you later. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, Tyler, nice meeting you. Really.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See you, Adika.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
All right.
See you later, you chicken.
Nobody calls me chicken needles. Nobody.
Just scan your card, McFry.
Yeah, see you in the future.
All right, that's Tyler. He's awesome.
Great.
I love
He
him.
is a cool guy. Cool guy. I'm glad I got to meet him.
You should. I'm glad you hung out for that. And then I'm going to let you go to bed because it's like what is it, about 10 o'clock there?
It's 10
your
o'clock.
time. Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock my time. But thank Videobob. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me on. Thank you for hanging out with me last night. And I'm sorry I turned you into a skull. You're probably exhausted from me.
I stay up late anytime, all the time anyway. Like my wife's personal trainer, she gets up at like 5 a.m. She goes to bed at like 9. So a lot of times I'm going to bed when she's getting up. It's crazy. Like we have hallway sex. You pass each other.
That's great. That's great. So your wife will know about me and my Peloton machine. It's great.
We have one in the other room.
Does she like it? Does she like it?
Yeah, she likes it. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been on the thing in months. I need to get on the thing. It's ridiculous. But, she works for the YMCA and she's a wellness coach there. And because of this COVID thing, they've had to close a whole bunch of the, YMCAs. And they also lost a lot of their employees because of it. So she's running like 2 or 3 branches. So she's working her ass off lately. Yeah. And we hardly get to see and spend that much time with each other because of it. Because now she's finally back, the stores are actually open again where she can go in. But for the longest time, for months, she was training in the kitchen like she was doing virtual training with her clients.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but anyway, I got a busy day tomorrow as well, and I just wanted to try this out, and I couldn't have picked a better person to help show me the ropes, teach me what we were doing here. I don't want you to think I'm trying to, steal your show.
No, dude, not at all. I want everybody to use the stream. I just wish you to use my link so I could get a little something back.
Yeah,
no, you would have got $10 off. Did you pay for this?
I paid for this $20 a month or whatever it was.
Could get a little discount. All right, but I'll show you the ropes. I'll help you out. Jessica, look, I came right. Jessica, come tomorrow 8 a.m. Come to Coffee Talk with Adika. You'll see me there. Come on, Bill K. There's my guy Bill. I see a couple of my people in the chat room.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Bringing people over.
Videobob, I'm gonna need you to come on my show this week. Tell me when. We're gonna.
All right.
On.
Well, I'll probably come back and do some of the talk and wax with you. That sounds like a good thing. I don't want to get up too early.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to figure this out. What we're gonna do with the scheduling and everything. And hey, we'll have you guys back on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you get it together, and whatever it is, I'll plug the show. You tell me when you get a schedule. Let's plug you. All right.
We're going to plug in each other.
Yeah, but that's it. Bill K, Stefan, I'll see you in the morning. Bill K, 8 a.m. Don't be late. All right. Hey, everybody, I love you. Videobob loves you. I love Videobob. Thank you for bringing me on.
All righty. Have a good night.
All right. Good night, my friend.
Okay. All right. So I don't need headphones anymore. I think it's pretty successful first run. Gosh darn it. It's already up to 3 hours. How the hell? The time. We're on here 2 hours and 45 minutes. Last night we went 6 hours almost. We're on the air for 5 hours, and then we stayed on and still continued to talk for like another however long. Oh my gosh, James, I'm sorry I missed this. $1 from James. I hope I didn't miss any other ones. Let me go back and look. I'm really sorry if I did, because you get distracted, and this is really why I need to have somebody helping me once we start doing the show, kind of, a little bit more organized with guests and everything. Like I said, this was the very first time that we've done it this way with guests, and it's an interesting thing. Bob rocks. Thank you. I think this is going to continue to grow, because here's the main thing. I never had a schedule, so what we need to do is we need to have a scheduled time so that when it's coming on, we can promote it, be able to promote maybe who the guests are going to be, some of the things we're going to be talking about and all that kind of stuff. And I think we may have found, people have been saying to me for a long time I should start doing a podcast, and I was like, what am I going to talk about, But I think that this is something that is really going to grow, and the microphone seems to be working good. The headphones are working good. It was so much fun, and it's fun interacting with you guys, and it's also fun to be able to bring people up on the screen, and that's going to be amazing. So anyway, hey, I guess this is where I'm going to get ready to say goodbye. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Turn on your notifications so that when I do a live, someone will let you know when. Let me just check. There was somebody else sending me some messages over here. Getting messages on all my different things here. And let's see here. Still trying to learn this thing. Where's my comment? Sovereign. Oh, great show. Thanks for the show. Thank you for the $2. That'll buy me a 5-hour energy so I can stay up and keep doing this all night long. All right, guys. Hell, this is it. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. I'm Videobob.